Another matchup between the Akron Zips and, of course, the Bowling Green Falcons. I'm Mark Bishop along with Otto Orff. Akron on the heels of a 2-0 win over number 8 Notre Dame. And Bowling Green, a week ago Saturday, they played, and they just came out with a double OT draw. 0-0 against West Virginia, Otto.
Yeah. Akron's riding on a great home streak here, but that draw hopefully gives Bowling Green a little confidence coming into this game this evening.
Otto's worried about me saying what I'm going to say. Akron's 7-0 at home, 1-0 in the MAC. Bowling Green has struggled on the road, 2-5, 0-1. Home cooking means something, Mr. Orff.
That's true, but I'm looking through the stat sheet and I'm looking at two things. That is the shots on goal percentage and then the goalkeeper in the nets for Bowling Green tonight. That's my places to look at.
And we will keep you posted on that in a big, big way. How about the Akron Zips continuing to rock? And I'm going to tell you this, too, is that you look at different programs around. Copley High School is contributing. Sky Harder, of course, been dishing assists left and right for the Akron Zips. And how about Chris Brennan, the leading scorer for the Bowling Green Falcons?
Well, it's really amazing that this school here and this area right around the school are producing such great players. They seem to go from their youth clubs through their high schools into college and then on to the pros as well.
One thing, too, that we want to give you is that Akron, of course, Jared Embrick getting a lot of players from the continent of Africa. You flip the coin, Bowling Green, a lot of French players here. So whether it's caviar, whether it's, etouffee, we'll find out tonight. And get ready for the matchup. ESPN 3, MAC action, Akron and Bowling Green. We are set from First Energy Stadium, Cub Cadets Field, on the campus of the University of Akron. Mark Bishop, Otto Orff, ESPN 3. The Akron Zips, winners over number 8 Notre Dame last Tuesday, right here on the pitch against Bowling Green a week ago today. Double overtime draw, 0-0 against West Virginia. Otto, it's going to be a heck of a good time today. And it's interesting to see, too, and I wanted to ask you, I know Notre Dame went on attack immediately, but you know what? Bowling Green's just tried to do that, and Akron already taking the ball away with those active defenders.
It's unbelievable the pressure that they've been able to hold for the entire season, every game in and out, at least all the home matches much that we've seen here. So if Akron can keep up playing defense like that, hold possession in the back early, it's going to be a tough go for Bowling Green.
Now, hanging around with you, I feel smarter, like staying at a Holiday Inn Express. You see those commercials, right? One thing I noticed there as Bowling Green gets the ball back is that Akron tried to push it near side, actually the right side of the field, the goalie's left hand. Bowling Green took it away immediately. They must be watching film.
And absolutely, and any good coach nowadays is putting their time in the film room. The attack has been so successful for Akron on the right side, but here they go over the top on the right now. And it's Nate Schultz up front working hard.
Good defense, just bodying up to Schultz, not bumping him enough to take him off the ball, but take him off his path as he wanted to get it in. A center there and popped away by the Bowling Green defenders. Seems like Bowling Green is anticipating what Akron is trying to do. We know what they're trying to do. Get that center into the box from the right side.
And just because they're trying to take it away doesn't mean that the team's not going to be successful. Akron has been very successful at that, in and out. So
that's almost like somebody saying, I am going to do this, and you need to stop me.
That's exactly right. And they're going to stop them a percentage of the time. But, of course, Akron's had great success. And finishing maybe just as much as anything else, every single player that they put in there, the depth on this team, they've all been having success when they go in. So
I know it's amazing, too, and you've seen it, the way Schultz and Strachan work together. It's as if it's one player split in half.
It's true.
Yeah.
And, well, you think about it, there's some young players out here, but the mixture is pretty good because the leadership comes from different places, and it seems like it's coming from seniors as well as freshmen.
Bowling Green, a lot of pressure early on trying to stay on the ball. Boy, I like Cordero in the middle, too. He makes so many things happen.
What we noticed again last game was how the effort that he puts in for every second that he's in there. Sometimes you see him up front, maybe makes a giveaway, any kind of error. He tracks back twice as quick as he attacked, and he's back on his defensive position right away.
One thing I've noticed, Akron keeps inching closer and closer to the goal as they set it up, and they're staying in shape nicely, too.
Well, and they're feeling each other out, but there's really no stopping the way Akron moves the ball side to side in the back, and if you pressure them and stretch out too far, they're going to make you pay.
Let's see what we have here. Just a little, they're gonna, and I know early on too, you could tell with the referees that are they going to allow a little something, and there's more than a little something there. Oh,
It's a little push in the back, but it's not crazy. You got to be able to hold off the ball. Soccer is definitely a contact sport, so a little bit of pressure is not bad.
Was that a hug?
Just a little bump, but he was standing straight up. I guess it may be waiting for the ball to go out of bounds.
It is ESPN3, Mark Munch Bishop, Otto Orff. Otto, today I noted that we were doing a game on social media, and one of the first responses from a newsman at a local radio station in Cleveland, WTM 1100, was Otto Orff. As you would say, much the only man to have his number as his initials.
Oh, that was a fun. I tell you what, for all those years growing up with Otto and Orff as names, I don't know if that little title is worth it. But
Well, you were the king when you were in the net. Akron back on the attack. Schultz in his normal spot. Tried to dump it, but I thought Schultz was going to give and go that time.
Well, I tell you what, they're being really patient, but they're not afraid to make that penetrating pass right there by Schultz was a nice, solid, on-the-ground pass. A little miscommunication in the back by Bowling Green and a deflection.
Korb started his run a little late into the box that time. Pass was dumped in there. We see Alfonso Gaffur, too, number 28, very, very active early on for the Zips.
Well, here we go. A deflection by the defender on the right side.
Now the attack by Bowling Green.
Nico De Vera has been playing so steadily on that side all season long. And a little deflection, but he gets back to cover, and now the ball's knocked back out and over to the left-hand side.
Peter Pugliese is on top. The man there with the ball was Chris Sullivan.
I don't know how long we're going to have to wait before one of us decides to pronounce Anthony Mwambia, but he just made that deflection save back there, and he only has a .9 goals against average with a record of 6-6. He's doing a pretty good job in the goal there, despite the amounts of wins and losses for BG.
Mwambia from Toulouse, France.
He's another one of those French players you mentioned.
Yes, here come the Zips on the attack. Sky Harder going to dump it off. And Mwambia is going to just scoop it back up easily.
That was waited too long, and the ball really shouldn't have gone deep because all of the momentum that was had there was taken away. Cordero had nothing left to go, and even if he would have played it, I don't think he would have caught up to that ball.
Holt Houston was kind of laying back a little bit, just waiting to see if anything was going to happen, but then Mwambia, no doubt, could corral that ball. Good look there at number 15, Mr. Ebenezer Akon.
Akon. I like a few songs by Akon.
Cape Coast, Ghana. Like the international flavor of this game, Otto. It's a beautiful
I really
night.
do too. And speaking of the international flavor, what about the local flavor? I mean, the more and more you look over this roster, I wasn't quite aware that there were two other Copley High School players here on Bowling Green.
Yes.
Then I looked at the roster, and Vinny Warner, I coached Vinny for a couple of years at least, so it's great to see Sky Harder out there for the Zips as well as we got Warner and Brennan. Brennan, their leading goal scorer.
Very
Sorry
good.
Much,
So, no, hey, you know what? That just shows that we do our homework.
It's wonderful to watch and wonderful to see, and half of this crowd is probably Copley High School parents and players.
Well, good to see a nice crowd here today waiting for the Rowdies to come in mass. I think they're getting ready to stage. And here comes Akron on the attack from the left down into the middle. Good defense that time by Bowling Green. They played that perfectly. Bowling Green's laying back. I don't know, they're just not backpedaling. As soon as Akron comes on the attack, every player is getting back in their defensive zone.
And they have to have that instilled in them early on, because one mistake early in the game, it changes the entire complexion, and it also forces you to change your entire game plan.
I know, we saw that against SIU Edwardsville. Mistake early on. I mean, basically a blank shot on goal, one-on-one.
So you might as well have worked all week long on something completely different if that happens. And that's when we were mentioning, I brought up that zona Cesarini, that awareness that the team needs to have in the first 5 minutes of the game and of the second half.
What's it called again?
Renato Cesarini was a very famous coach. He was known as the Bible of soccer from Italy. He coached the Argentine national team in Boca Juniors, but our coach had him as a coach. So I had this Yugoslavian coach, and he used to yell it at us the entire game. Zona Cesarini, after goals and at the beginning.
That's great, though.
It is. And it's one of the things that I share more than anything else with kids in games, because when it comes to just playing the game, it's one thing. When it comes to learning how to win and how to lose, those transition times after a goal is scored, at the beginning of a half, when your emotion can be up or down, are the times you have to control.
I'll tell you, Anthony Wemby is a solid young man.
He looks like a big man in there.
Yeah.
That close-up just showing.
Cut nicely. Boy, nice header that time. Schultz going to be an overlap. Boy, working nicely with Korb. Korb going to tap it back.
So one of the things we looked at when Akron has had success going down that right side is when they don't take the ball all the way to the line and drive it back from the goal line. It's been much less successful than when they're able to get it to the end line and cross it back and drive it back. Defenders are retreating. Tracking the ball is not as easy, and keeping your balance and focus on the ball is not as easy as well.
Boy, there's a young man who has foot skills. My gosh, was he born with a soccer ball attached to his foot, Otto?
Well, there's some people and some players who seem like that, right? But I don't know how he got his skills or where he got his skills, but we're certainly glad he's here from on the other side of the pond.
We're talking João Matinho, young man from Lisbon, Portugal.
Munch, I was trying to find something on him. I mention him so often during games that I'm trying to find a little more information out about him. But before he even played here at Akron as an incoming freshman, he was cited as being one of the 11 to watch by Top Drawer Soccer. So he had to have some kind of a high praise and recognition before he came in here.
Holt Houston just took on 3 Bowling Green Falcons and won the ball.
There's Devera.
Love Nico and his skills, too.
Man, and he is so fast. He just has that incredible burst of speed.
And Cordero's all over the place early on, too. Working the field nicely. Good push by Schultz. Gonna dump off. Oh, my. Sky Harder.
Harder with a nice turn there to keep possession and
very
another
nice.
full turn. But he gets it deflected as he tries. So he really had nowhere to go. And what Akron's been so good at throughout the course of this year is when they don't have anything, they usually send it backwards and switch sides to attack, or at least keep possession. So they're getting their chance to get down near the 18. I'd say between the 25 and the 18, but they're not having any success being productive.
Here comes Akron back on their half of the pitch. Their defensive half, I should say. It depends how you look at it. I like to be an offensive minded guy to say that's their half this half of the game. Too many halves in there. 0-0, 34-58 left in the first. Nate Schultz back to Strachan. Again, they work so well together. Matinho, right dead center. Gonna dump it back off to Strachan. Being hounded by Chris Sullivan. Sullivan backs off. Strachan dumps it to Korb.
So we've got about a dozen passes now, possession-wise, for Akron, and now they finally attempt at their first through ball. And there's another one, and it's great touch.
Harder.
Just out of the reach. So that's a great, there you go, possession, and then boom, quick attack.
In fact, there you see Anthony Mambia saying, hey, give me some help on defense. Look at Harder.
And he came out perfectly because one more step, and you're getting on the end of that ball.
Yeah, just a little too long
just
that time
unable.
on the pass.
But that's, we've also talked about that the last few games, Munch. The diagonal ball is much easier for the forward to connect on than that straight ball where you're chasing it. Because once the ball passes you, you're chasing it, it's running away from you, and it's just difficult.
And the diagonal ball, it's almost like a convergent path as you're heading to it, yes.
And you think about this. You just mentioned the stature of Wambia. If he ends up coming out and you're going in, I have a feeling he's going to win that battle on a lot of occasions. So.
Yeah, I mean, the days of these slight keepers, and you were not one, I wanted you to know. Now on top, working the left side, the top side of the field. Dumping down in.
There he goes. Devera got the ball, and with that burst of speed, beats him down the left side. A nice cross, but a little too much.
Yeah.
He hasn't had an opportunity to really cross the ball from out there, so I bet all the adrenaline of saying, wow, I finally got one, and he just puts it a little too far over the top.
Yeah, Nico does not want to get that much into it as it sails over.
Now, if that ball's
nice
about
position in the
5
middle,
or 8
yeah,
feet lower,
yes.
But just too high for anybody to get under. Oh, and they draw a foul down there, way down deep on the left side. That's beautiful. This is a good opportunity, and this is kind of the angle we're talking about. Expect this ball to be just outside or right around the 6-yard line, unless they cut it short.
Boy, look at Strachan getting hounded and bumped down there. Go down
there it is.
Back
over.
over.
And 2 attempts. Could be a dangerous play.
Oh, boy. Went for the header, and Wambia, as we saw, just took it right off of his head.
And Wambia coming out as he should, and when he came down, the head of the defenders in between his arms. Great cross, like we said, right about the top of the 6. Just missed, and then Korb gets a head on it. Unbelievable, but our stud there, João Moutinho, goes for the left-footed bicycle. Great sequence of plays there on both sides of the ball.
Wambia focused today, there's no doubt after that save. And here comes Bowling Green back on the attack. Nice to push him out of the center of the field as he was looking.
Moutinho there step up. He missed the ball, but he got enough of the body to slow him down so his next line of defense could help him out.
Boy, picket fence defense that time by the Zips. They set it up nicely. Or just a poke away.
Good
at the
decision
last
by
second.
number 9, Bowling Green defender there, not to step in, because if he would have taken one more step, there was a break coming down the
That
right-hand
was one of
side
the
for the
captains,
Zips.
Brad Maycomber for the Falcons. Boy, keeping it in.
Nice work done at the end line.
Of course, the Bowling Green Falcon player saying some chicanery going on there, but not at all.
A lot of space on the left-hand side. Let's see if they can move it over there. Nico DeVera's hanging out outside, and the ball is eventually going to get, well, maybe not coming back, looks to the right side.
Harder set it back up, a little circle there, and was able to go again.
Most of the season, the Zips have had success down this right side, so to see him swing it to the left would be a good exercise in surprising the team, but also practice for their upcoming matches.
Good foot skills, and Moutinho and Strachan continue to work in the back. João Moutinho. Someone to keep an eye on.
That was a nice return pass by Cordero there, right around 25 yards outside the box.
There you have the proudly national champion banner, as you see, 2010.
What a year that was. Actually, those 2 years, 2009 and 2010, really an amazing, culmination of all the work that had been put in.
Cordero, nice move that time. Working with Gaffer.
So we didn't mention this, but Faisal Ghaffur getting his start today.
Yes.
He finished a goal in overtime for the Zips earlier in the season with a really good, you just come into a game, he got the last few minutes at the end of that game. Oh, Moutinho going over the top.
Yeah.
Number 6 does not look like it bothered him one bit. That's Chris Brennan from Copley.
And Brennan's a pretty solid young man, too, when you look at him.
He's only 5'10", so whatever he's got is all packed in a 5'10" frame.
It's packed nicely. And Brennan's just gave him the look.
Well, I like it. That's the other thing about Moutinho. He's not a very big man, but he is not afraid. That was unbelievably dangerous. And right there,
I agree wholeheartedly. Header on target finds the back of the net easily.
We talked about Webway at the other end, and he came out, he got the ball, he got the player. In this case, Tor Saunders comes out, but he doesn't get the ball, and he doesn't get the player. And he should have taken everybody in that pile out, and they should have been moving towards the BG goal. If you're coming out, you're in no man's land if you don't get a piece of the ball.
Yeah, that was
dangerous play here.
He's going to have that back.
And it's deflected off a BG player for an Akron throw-in. But right there, that return pass. Moutinho, you haven't seen a chink in his armor much this year, but he gave away one goal by dribbling the ball across the box. And right there, that return pass to Saunders, not a very good one. Players make mistakes, right? We just need to try to keep those mistakes down, especially early in a game and in front of your own goal.
The question asked, though, is that for a freshman, you're saying, well, no, you're playing Division I soccer. They shouldn't be there, but I don't think we've had many a cause to talk about the mistakes in Mr. Moutinho.
Well, Jared Embeck is a smart coach, and I think he also is loyal to the players who play well for him. And what's happened here is João Moutinho has played midfield for him, and ever since he's gone in the back, he's really held down the fort for him. So he's playing where he should be playing, and Coach Embeck has all the confidence in the world in him.
Just tapping it back. That was a good look at Tate Robertson. 5 assists on the year. Mwembia going to tee it up. Headed the other way. And Bowling Green stays on the attack. Good defense there that time by the Akron Zips. And, of course, was that Mr. Guffer that got over there to hurry?
It was. And out here, I always want to note this, and not necessarily that you can see it on the TV screen, but number 22, sitting out on the right-hand side, Chris Sullivan, and there comes the ball. He's hanging out so wide. It really keeps the Akron team have to take a look at him frequently, and if you don't, he's wide open. It's one of the things, the width at that midfield position, just over when you cross over midfield and you're attacking third, really should look on that opposite side. There's a lot of room, and right now Chris Sullivan's providing it.
Schultz going to be tapped back. And he can come back to Strachan again, the freshman, of course, from Lakewood.
We touched on that a little bit as well in the pregame, but the local players, the local talent now with another team, great through ball.
Oh, fantastic.
And laid back to Korb. Korb attacking and putting it right back. Oh, nice ball. Oh, my word, what an opportunity.
Yeah, they want that one back in a big, big way.
It's almost like you expected the defender or the goalkeeper to touch that and were surprised when it got through, but that was a perfect ball, and that's what we were talking about, playing the ball from deeper and back across.
Holt Hughes very active in the box today.
Well, it was really a nice play, and what's amazing to me is that not one of the 4 players got an opportunity
Oh my,
to get a foot on there.
Zajac just a little long that time.
And Holthusen on the end of that one again, so it's looking good.
He's the one who's being active down in the box.
The effort, you can see him jogging back now. The effort that he's going to be able to put out is one of the things I think is an asset to Akron, and that is they've got 4 or 5 guys on the bench that have come in and produced almost immediately in substitution for their other forwards.
0-0, 26:35 left to the first. And again, always great camera action from the crew here. Classic Productions and ESPN3. Schultz. Boy, good defense. Bowling Green had a shot down there when Saunders came out of the net. But other than that, they're more intent on taking away the Akron attack, hoping to transition something from their defense.
And that's the type of team that they are. They're a counter-attack team. So they get the ball, they get it wide, they attack, they counter. Akron is possession, and they knock the ball, and wait to pick their chances. So where BG is looking to maybe surprise you when they win possession and do a quick attack, Akron is kind of the opposite.
That was Sullivan and Majeski putting on the pressure to keep Akron from advancing. Good foot skills back here and good passing. And who are they going to let handle it now? Matinho on top. Dumps it off. Good move that time.
So Strachan and Gafour doing a nice job in that second line in the midfield there, working not only as offensive support, but specifically on the defensive end. They've been doing a great job winning all the second balls.
I like Cordero.
Oh, here we go. Good opportunity right here.
Gafour, oh my. And Wemby anticipated went down.
So you know what that tells you? That tells you that that's a shot on goal. And that's what I was talking about earlier. Faisal Gafour gets the opportunity. He puts it, not his first shot above the crossbar. He focuses, gets over the ball, and keeps it on frame. If it wasn't for number 4, that was going to be a tough save.
And good defense that time. That was Mo Mustafa from Westlake, Ohio.
The list goes on and on.
And we're said again, international, and it's nice to see the mix. We talk Westlake, Lakewood, Copley, Eritrea, Cameroon, and on down the line.
Yeah, it's really fun to see, and specifically fun to watch right here.
Hard to turn this man around.
In our backyard. There's Matinho all the way up front there.
Do you love the way he plays?
I tell you what. And
good look by Nico De Vera, too.
Well, De Vera doesn't surprise me that he's up there on that side.
That's it. There's some solid young men for Bowling Green.
Well, that's Stuart
Ebenezer Akron again, yeah.
So, what about this weather, Munch?
I will
it's
take
incredible.
It. Enjoy the best time of the year.
There has not been, and of course we talked about jinxing yourself or whatever, but there hasn't been one bad day here. If anything, it's been a little too sunny for Northeast Ohio to play a soccer game, but the weather's been phenomenal. The sunsets as we get here are incredible.
Cooled off nicely this evening, a bit warm this afternoon. Here comes Akron back on the attack. Good foot skills that time displayed. And it's going to come back out tonight. Schultz, like I said, Schultz likes to conduct the orchestra along with Gafour. Matinho again. Going to dump it on top.
Gafour knows, that, and I'm sure he had to talk with him before the game, that he can always find Matinho. So he's there for him. Joe Korb with the ball, and then makes his run down low, but doesn't want to be offside, so he pulls back.
And Schultz again back to Strachan.
Strachan, Cordero, and now he's going to swing it out to the right, or the left. There you go. And here we go. Let's see Nico De Vera. Watch him turn on this ball.
So you can't let that one go through the wicket.
There you go.
Yeah. Got it back quickly.
Cordero looking, but BG is just waiting.
Boy, Cordero could have turned and fired.
That's what I loved about Gafour's last attempt on goal.
Schultz trying to just work it in. Tried to work it in just a little too much. A lot of legs in there with opposing color jerseys on and shorts. And he couldn't get it through there. It was like going through a forest. Watch. Trying to drill. There's Schultz. And boy, when he gets out and gets that ball, and he's getting protection from his defenders too, they're just saying stay away from him.
Super aggressive, and that's kind of a characteristic trait of a good goalkeeper, making sure they're aggressive and when they make up their mind coming out and getting the ball.
Core back to Matinho. Good hustle that time.
And Gafour, nice turn. He got that ball and he had the pressure on him, but was able to complete the pass.
Tate Robertson going
Ball's
back to
gonna
Matinho.
Swing out here to the right, and let's see what they have going on.
They have not exclusively worked that right side like we saw on many occasions this year with the Zips.
Well, you've mentioned it that the Falcons are taking it away. Now there's a through ball. Oh, what a great
beautiful
layoff.
run.
Holthusen with a beautiful little flick with that right foot.
Gafour had to pull back because there was a wall of Falcons waiting for him.
But the great thing was that he had an option to go right or left, and everybody assumed he was going the way he was facing. He laid it off back behind him. That was a wonderful pass by Stuart Holthusen.
Well, I'll tell you what, I think we need an Emmy Award on this one. The Academy's maybe a little hip check.
Yeah, well, I think maybe more so than anything, you came down wrong on it. You know, when you get bumped like that, you expect your foot to be hitting the ground, and then it hits a second later, and your whole balance is thrown off.
Yeah, Joe Corb went over to make sure that, hey, there's civilization here when you played a beautiful game. As we have seen on more than one occasion. Good look at Mr. Mwambia. Sophomore from Toulouse, France. All the way to Bowling Green, Ohio. Boy, there are times when I see a keeper strike the ball like that. All it does is give it right back to your opposition. Sometimes it behooves you to set it up more even in the center circle and take it from there.
Well, and at least have some kind of plan whereby that midfielder and that forward are looking for somebody to deflect the ball on, but just hoofing it down the field. Nowadays, you don't see it nearly as much as you used to. Instead of the keeper just getting rid of it, there's some intent on starting an attack.
Boy, great job that time by Zajac.
There's a long ball over the top, a hopeful ball to the right side.
Skyharder was looking for someone, and that someone was not there. Good job, too, that time. I believe that was Swahi. Just shielded out the Akron player, couldn't get to the ball, went out of bounds, so they come back the other way.
Yeah, that was a 40 to 50-yard run there that had to be made to receive that ball. So here we go, straight over the top again. Going to be very difficult.
You're just dumping him down in there. Cord making a run for it.
Well, the one thing that it might do, though, is that it might change the defense.
Oh, my! He pilfered it. I thought he was going to make a run right to the center of the goal mouth. He did not on it. They pull it back up, but Akron still now on the attack.
So dumping it deep, almost like maybe punting the ball away in football or throwing a deep interception that acts as a punt. You know, you're just dumping it down in there, but the way Akron can pressure, it's a good tactic.
Akron definitely staying in a comfort zone. A couple chances, and they've attacked in a couple chances. We had the one attempt when Mr. Tor Saunders came out of that for Akron, and thank golly the ball went awry. Good look again at Strachan. Gonna dump it right in the middle of the Gafour. Matinho, left foot, right foot. Cordero backs off. Boy,
Look at that
Matinho.
possession, driving right up the middle. He's done it every game.
My golly, shredding 5-6 Falcons as he goes.
And he hadn't given it up yet. There he goes. He finally gives it up to Cordero.
Good skill by Cordero there. Zach Fisher keeping an eye on him.
They're pinned in the corner. Let's see, they'll bring it out and be able to swing it over here to the right side.
No, DeVera gave a little dirty look over there to Tate Robertson. Oh, my. Boy, Corb just needed to extend that leg a little bit more. If he's Inspector Gadget, we have it. Oh, yeah. We have very few limited sight lines here that was for Otto. Yeah, Corb stretched out the right peg. And Otto, I'm telling you, if he was a size 15 instead of a size 10, he could have got to it. I'm talking
Thanks for the
size.
description. I'll watch the monitor when the ball goes down to that end from now on.
Good look there at Manuel Cordero. I'll tell you, he breaks a sweat in about the first 30 seconds
Oh, here
of the
it
game.
is.
Matinho tried to tee it up big time.
That's similar to the last ball that went across. You expect that defender to get ahead on it so you maybe don't make that last effort. And some kind of a scorpion move there.
Not quite sure what it is, but I know what it is. It's Akron's ball.
Oh, I'd like to see that again.
Boy, you didn't like that move by Tate Robertson?
I think it was a great move. Check this out.
Boy.
You don't see the scorpion very often.
Splits.
Look up the scorpion. Here we
Go.
go, a break on through it.
My.
Can he finish?
Grab it. Get it done. Oh, my, what a beautiful defensive play.
Excellent
What a
defense.
save to bail out Mwambia. Oh, my. I don't know if you noticed I had to. I was getting ready for the goal call. I know. No premature goal calls.
Well, I tell you what, when this play settles down, that save by the defender off the goal line can be credited to Wembia.
Yeah.
He comes hard off his line, attacking the ball, and it forces him to go wide. Really bad angle for Joe Korb.
And
He wants to make sure he finishes.
Ebenezer Akron. I've mentioned his name only 7 or 8 times already today.
Well, he's
the way he
singing
plays
his own
defense.
tunes after that block. Great save, and fantastic with only 16 and a half minutes left to go in the match, or the first half, for Bowling Green to be able to stay even.
Ebenezer, a junior from Ghana. I'm looking for my favorite place on the continent, Harare, Zimbabwe, but no one's from Harare here today. That kind of name kind of just flows.
Now we've got about a 35, 40-yard free kick to the left side.
Tate Robertson is going to take it.
If he puts it in the mixer just out of the extent of the reach, he doesn't. He plays it on the ground and an open player.
I'll tell you what.
High and near post munch. That ball did not miss by much.
I'm going to tell you this, is that Akron was remiss on defense that time. That was a beautiful setup pass. And I'm going to tell you this, Tate Robertson, the assist man, who'd he give it to?
I'd like to see
Mr. Brennan.
That. Yeah, that's Chris Brennan, the leading scorer, who turns to his left and hits a shot high and near post.
We don't want to that time.
High and near post is where you go with that if you don't go low and far post. And he did a great job with his left foot to put it almost up there where it couldn't be touched.
Upper 90, it goes home.
That's for sure.
Boy.
And pressure high. And Brennan takes away Tor Saunders, so they had 3 players high. If Akron's going to attack here, they got to attack fast to take advantage of the man up. And they do.
Good job by the Zips.
So that's second line here. Nate Schultz wide open if they can get the ball over here to the right-hand side. I don't know if they see him.
Schultz is just lingering.
That's a great place to get the ball because you have a man advantage and you're running at him with time. Unfortunately, they didn't see him, and the attack went straight. Ball played out of bounds.
Did Egbo check in? Usually we know when there's a sub.
I did not see that, but
I thought I saw number 14 running around out there.
And I was asking for it before the game, Munch.
Said
we missed David Egbo. I really love this guy and couldn't say enough about him. And then I hadn't seen him for the last 4 or 5 games, so I'm excited to watch Egbo play up front.
14:45.
If he gets the opportunity, look at how Moutinho knows it, and he's pushing the ball to him. So I guess here's my assessment. When the defense is dropping back with so many on him, this is the guy who can break you down one-on-one in the box. He's strong. He plays with his back to goal, and he can turn the ball quickly. So if you see him up near that penalty area, watch for the ball to get played into his feet with his back to goal. He turns the ball and shoots as quickly as anybody.
And another one of those fabulous freshmen for the Akron Zips. Latino. Saunders played a little pitch and catch. Saunders going to tee it back down.
Wow, that was a great play by the Bowling Green defenseman on the right side, too.
I believe that's Akon, who is just, how many times have I mentioned his name now? He saves a goal. He just heads it back into the attacking zone, but past all his forwards. Tor Saunders looking around, telling his boys, move on up, gentlemen. No need to keep it back there. Push the attackers back to the forwards of Bowling Green. Bowling Green realized the importance of this game. And I'll tell you this, is that they're putting up a very, very strong fight early on.
Well, I was mentioning it to a soccer aficionado out here in the crowd, a guy who's been involved in soccer here in Northeast Ohio for over 50 years, Marty Misbrenner.
Since 1957 he was
playing, yes, for that German club. So, but we were talking a little bit about how this game's, all these local guys and Copley and whatever, and Marty brought something to light about that. We'll get back to it right after this here. Munch, now the ball, BG attacking on the left-hand side.
Peter Quigley's had it. They're going to pull it back. Going to dump it again. Good job. Charlie Majewski, I apologize. My wife's
and
Polish.
There we go. They're attacking down the left side now.
Sleep on the couch. Bowling Green realizes they're not going to have that many chances, so they want to make sure they set this up nicely. Good defense that time. Brad, there you go. Pass just a little too long by Alexei Swahi.
And they're all up high. Mm-hmm. But I guess what I was getting back to is Jared Embeck. He mentioned that he was friends with Jared Embeck, and the players that we've seen, like we haven't seen Egbo in 4 or 5 games. Well, he's a freshman. The goalkeeper change was strange for me to see how well that Ben Lunt was doing, and then all of a sudden he wasn't in goal, but then we hadn't seen him since. And there was one cross where he came out and punched the ball instead of catching it and ended up in a goal. They ended up winning the game in overtime. That's Faisal Ghafour's goal. But we haven't seen him since then. And now we saw that kind of weak, I don't want to say weak effort, but undecisive or indecisive effort.
Sam Gainford has also checked in for the Akron Zips. You saw Sam there for a second. Start the attack. Good spin move by Schultz again. Schultz penetrates the box. Oh! Was looking for Egbo. Egbo posted somebody up with that big wide body.
Sam Gainford, how about this? You check into the game last game for about 2 minutes and get to take a penalty kick, finish it in the side netting.
I'll tell you, he is a difference maker. He is a special player. Like I said, not just the Beatles making an impact from Liverpool. Moutinho. Boy, a little shove that time. A big shove that time. And they're going to put the brakes on Chris Brennan.
I think Chris Brennan could have played running back for Copley High School as well.
I wonder if he did. He is solid.
I don't know if he clipped him on his heel there or what, but it looked like Moutinho, if he got him, he didn't get him much of him.
He got him enough to get him down.
Did he?
Yes.
Okay. I turned it
I
over
would
too
see
late.
you're looking at both sides, and I respect that.
No. I just
Trying to tee it up again. Just a little out of the reach. That time of the Akron attackers.
Wambia taking a look. Started to make one step out like maybe like a good infielder attacking the ball, and then decided to wait for it because it was looked like it was going over the top, and it did.
Wambia, heady goalie. He'll take a chance now and then. But he's a thinking man, too.
Well, I like the fact that he came out to attack that breakaway at the top of the box, because if he had not, one more touch and it was a goal.
Boy, 0-0. 10:30 left in the first half.
For sure, Akron's had the bulk of the actual, I would say, scoring or dangerous offensive opportunities.
Azana Kasey is also checked in. So Kasey out on the pitch now, too, for Akron.
Well, this next 10 minutes, I'm looking forward to this. I really like both of these players.
You like Kasey and Egbo in there?
That's it.
And with Gainford, too.
Yeah, so you got the youngins and you got the old man, the experienced goal scorer. There we go, up the middle. See what kind of pressure he can put on. Egbo goes for the ball, and Wambia, again, comes out getting the ball and then getting a piece of him.
Well, when Bia gets a piece of you, you're going to feel it, aren't you? Well, actually, when Bia might have felt that, too. Good hustle that time by Mo Mustafa to come back and help his netminder. And here comes the Zip back on the attack. Boy, dribbling through nicely. Good footwork. Boy, some good physical play here today.
Yeah, and that's Devera. I mean, you look at how small he is compared to that defender, but he's battling with the shoulder all the way down there. And more importantly, as a defender, he's beating him back to his position as well, which is great to see.
And that's with Tate Robertson. He's given him quite a few inches and some pounds.
So from deep on the left side.
Wambia, the left footer. But there you go, going to come right back to the Zips. And Bowling Green going to try to nice header that time. And here come the Zips. Boy, not only contained the ball, but able to come back on the attack.
Just out of the reach of Kasey. What a great turn there.
Yeah.
And the ball's deflected into the middle. Cordero trying to collect it, turns with it, and he's going to probably play it outside.
Like I said, Manuel, the orchestra conductor, when he gets that ball dead center. Boy, Otto.
Sam tried to beat him down the line. The ball deflected off him, but Gainsford knocked him right over.
Good defensive play that time again. Is that my buddy Ebenezer Akon? We've mentioned his name now dozens of times. That means he's been very, very active. Shoving here.
Nick. So they're pushing here. I love this. In the last 8.5 minutes, they've got two new forwards and now one of their most energetic players, Nick Hines, coming in the midfield.
Love Hines. Had a goal against Notre Dame.
Nick, as we talked about that, I mean, he followed up that PK miss and slid it just into the left side of the net earlier this week. Kasey dribbling across the top of the box.
Trying to dump it in. And I have to tell you something. Every Bowling Green player got back that time. They realized how dangerous the Akron attack can be.
All of a sudden, the Akron attack got a lot more offensive-minded as well. So the adjustments that were made, it was kind of like a little chess series there going on with the coaches.
Egbo, Kasey, Gainford.
And then Hines in the middle.
Oh, my, nice header. Is it going to go? No! Well, Wambia, I gotta salute him, Otto. The way he had a double save that time.
Yeah, he's aggressive, and when he goes, he's confident he's going to get the ball. And so far today, he has.
You have to be. There's Gainford. Dump off. Coutinho. Boy, another strikeout by the defensive Bowling Green.
This is exciting soccer right here. This is kind of what we've been waiting for.
Kasey, oh my! Are the shorts down on the ground? After that move, I can say, oh.
And that driven ball across there, any one of the defenders that tries to block it, it's a dangerous. They're reaching back towards their own goal. So not a terrible idea, but I could say maybe a little too high and a little too far towards the goal.
Second time we've seen it just a little too hard into the center.
But I'm telling you, look at those substitutions and look what has happened as far as the attack for the Zips. They are just all over the place.
Amandi Aimia from Ghana has checked in there. You got to go look at number 19. He's just a sophomore.
Gafour has done a great job.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's great about a player like that in that position. You see him touch the ball, he gets it, he turns, he dishes it. If you don't have to call his name a lot throughout the course of the match, he's done his job, and right now he's doing a great job.
One of our friends from north of the border.
Foul on Sam Gainford.
Boy, Gainford said no. Says you give that back to us. And who's going to be on the ball? Mr.
Almost
Coutinho.
certainly Coutinho. He's got that great left foot.
I like he's surveying. Going to tee it up.
Oh, what a save!
Oh, then it goes high.
What a fantastic save!
Wemby again with the punch out of it. You're okay with a punch out of that?
Well, there's no question
security?
that's a reaction save. That ball goes where it wants, but he pushes it out to the right. Fantastic, and he was up for the rebound. He's having a great match right now.
And I'll tell you what, you want that one back in a big way, don't you? If you're Mr. Egbo.
So as we go into the last 5 minutes here of the first half, we got to be really careful because what we talked about, how hot Wembia is. 0.9 goals against average, making lots of saves, and now we get to see him in person in action. But the other stat that you mentioned pregame was the fact that the percentage of goals Bowling Green puts on frame as opposed to just taking shots, their shots on goal percentage is very high. So hopefully we can deny them, Akron can deny them a shot this first half.
We've got 4:53 left, but right now if you're Bowling Green, you have to be very happy with the way you're playing, and their coach, of course, Mr. Eric Nichols, Ohio State 2000, has to be very happy what he's seeing from his Falcons.
Well, he has to be very happy about one thing for sure, and that is the job that Wembia is doing.
Saunders came over to take that away, and boy, penetration that time into the box by Bowling Green.
There's that shot and shot on goal that we're talking about. So it is a header, and this next one right here, boom. Saunders, a tentative off his line again, did not get to that ball first, and if that ball goes anywhere else, it's a goal again. So
Saunders has dodged 2 bullets here today.
He has dodged 2 bullets at the other end. Wembia is keeping him out with all these fantastic attacks by the
Zips.
Zips.
They've been legit. Mambia's saves have been legit.
No question about it.
Devera, nice gear there. He takes off and then stops. He's a couple of defenders there for Bowling Green and pulls it back. There's Schultz. Schultz wants to push it into the middle. Good job. Peeling away. Gonna dump it now. Down low. Mr. Agbo. That's Kasey, I'm sorry.
There we go. That's the ball down the line, and everybody was in position that time. He's mad at himself, as Zana Kasey, because he put that ball into the keeper's hands. That ball needs to be driven back out, 6-yard box, a little outside of that. No chance for the keeper to get it, but here he puts it right into the keeper.
Yeah, Egbo actually had just shed his man.
And there's 2 or 3 guys back there.
Look who, yeah. I mean, what can you say?
But it's I think what really happened there is I think Zana Kasey thought that Wembia was cheating off his post, and he put it near post because if you notice, Wembia went down to his left to get that ball. So there might have been a hole there.
Well, I have to tell you this, is that Akron is not going to hesitate to get back on the attack.
What a fake there, and that time the ball does get cut back. That's okay.
Yeah, because it was a proper play, it was a proper pass.
Well, there's, as a coach, as a commentator, we can never say what the proper play is. The player with the ball makes the proper play or not.
But he did not shoot it to the keeper that time. He
yeah,
shot
the keeper didn't wrap it up.
Yes.
And as I said, when I saw the replay, he saw a hole there, so that ball was intended to be near post last time. No second guessing these guys. They're good players.
No, they're great players.
And this ball is fantastic through. And there goes Nick and wins a corner kick by using his left foot to try to deflect it across.
Boy, Hines is quick too, you know that?
I tell you what, this last 10 minutes with these substitutions, this is the Akron Zips I've been waiting to see.
And Coach Embrick has done a good job. getting the right guys in there at this time. I mean, they're all the right guys. And we say that not as patronage, but it's the truth. This is a great, great soccer team.
Well, we talked that they might have 2 or 3 lineups over there, completely different.
Mm-hmm.
The guys that we mentioned that are in there game in and game out, they might not get quite as much of the due that they should.
Coutinho's going to set it up. Boy, another left-handed pop-up
This
on
guy's
Buendia.
a true acrobat out there.
Yeah, he has been phenomenal.
That's a drill. That punch right there, you don't see that very often anymore. He comes across from his left to his right, uses his left hand
Look at Buendia.
to make the ball go. That's really nicely done. A little dangerous. Unfortunately, Ben Lunt paid for a punch like that a couple weeks ago.
And Gainford was waiting for it.
But this guy's on fire.
Yeah. Can he stay that hot the entire match?
Well, you know what? The tale of 2 halves, I guess, just like any sport.
Mm-hmm.
Once you go into that locker room, anything can happen. But he is riding high. Nobody will say a whole lot to him other than great job the first half when he gets in the locker room.
His confidence has to be.
I'm interested to see what, on the other end, what Tor Saunders gets, because you can almost guarantee Embick doesn't go up to him. It's his goalkeeper coach. He's going to go have a talk with him about being decisive. If he's not going to be decisive, then stay in your goal. Don't come off the line. But that's two attempts that
There's a big, big difference.
Yeah, skated on.
Is it the youth leading to the indecisiveness, Otto?
I don't think so. He's been playing goalkeeper for a long time. He's a big man. He's got all the skills. It's just, it's like anything else. You can be in a little bit of a slump at the plate, as a pitcher, as a scorer, and as a goalkeeper.
Tap it over.
And that's why I say you don't really want anybody to mention anything to him at halftime, because goalkeeper, has success on their confidence level. And if you lose that, it's kind of like getting hit in the head and you get shell-shocked. You start turning your head or blinking, and that spells disaster.
One thing I want to guarantee you, with the clock ticking down to 20 seconds, you do not want anything silly to happen here. And this, we're going to need Saunders to be very decisive on the ball closing it on the net.
They forced the ball to the middle there right off the free kick, and now put it in on an angle. And there's that ball just out of the reach. And what does he do that time? He decides to stay on his line with 10 seconds left to go.
And he made the right decision that time.
And this will be the end of the half. That ball may not even make it out of bounds.
And there we go. Halftime. We will be back 0-0. Bowling Green and Akron. For all the great plays so far, I would have to say that the difference in the game is the netminder of the Bowling Green Falcons, Mr. Anthony Buendia.
Absolutely. He's been playing fantastic going into the second half with a ton of confidence.
It's halftime. We'll be back to give you some thoughts on what transpired in the first half, what the Zips need to do in the second half, and how indeed they're going to penetrate Mr. Anthony Buendia, who has just been brilliant. ESPN 3 coming back at you. Head coach Jared Embeck from the Akron Zips wax poetic. Jared?
Yeah, I think for us, we expect Bowling Green to, play a little defensive, get numbers behind the ball. So it's going to be, can we break down numbers, quick play around the box, just kind of be relentless with our attack and win the ball back quickly. If we can do those things, I think over 90 minutes, we'll find a way to score. Yeah, we got goals we need to achieve, and Notre Dame game has kind of moved us in a position for seeding. We're top 16 in the RPI, and if we can continue to win games, we can help our seed and put us in good position to have home games. And I think right now we're focused on that, and we're trying to continue to improve in the conference and hope that we can get back in for the championship there. Yeah, I think this has been, in some respects, going into the year we were a little nervous. We replaced 2 senior center backs, and now we have 2 freshmen. But I think our seniors, Nico DeVero and Nate Schultz, have really helped the 2 freshman center backs settle in, and Danny Strachan and Zhao. And it's really been a strength, I think, all year. We've really been difficult to create chances, and those guys have worked very well together. They've been able to play the ball out of the back the way we want as well. And it's been a great combination, probably been the strength of our team so far. Yeah, I think, when we schedule, we try to do 2 things: get a couple good opponents late in the year. As you play these MAC games, they're different type of games, a little bit more different than what you get in the tournament, defensive, direct. So we try to get some ACC teams and out-of-conference teams in where we can stay sharp against teams that play a bit, as well as, if we need a late season RPI boost, we try to get that. And Pitt, looking ahead on Tuesday is a game that could help really both teams, solidify themselves in the postseason. Yeah, I think this year he's been one of our best players, and he's always had the speed and the attack, and I think what he's really struggled with at times has been focus and concentration defensively, and in my opinion, he hasn't always been aggressive enough in the attack. So we've really encouraged him to get forward, take advantage of his quickness, his ability on the ball, but stay focused defensively and cut down on some mental errors. And this year he's been terrific, probably one of the best left backs in the country. Yeah, he's our leader. He gives us stability up top, and everybody needs a go-to guy up top, and he's our guy. When he's in there, I think you see everybody's play is better, and he gives us a chance to kind of attack and help us keep possession and move players around to get some advantages elsewhere. And we're trying to build his fitness back slowly and keep him fit, and if we can manage him and right at the end of the year here and keep him fit for the postseason, it's really going to help us.
There you have it, Coach Jared Embick, not only pointing out some of his stalwart players, but what the Zips need to do. And no matter what you say, he is thinking about the future. It is Mark Munch of Ottawa for ESPN 3. 0-0 at the half, Akron and Bowling Green. And there you have it. Halftime. Akron nil, Bowling Green nil. And we've told you on more than one occasion, sure, the Rowdies are here, the students from the University of Akron. You got to love that. Families, grandma, grandpas over the players. But it's good to see. What great entertainment to bring your family out here, the youngsters, to watch some great soccer. We've got highlights coming your way, and boy, there were a lot of them. I have a feeling a few of these are going to focus around Mr. Mwembia. There you have Joe Moutinho.
Moutinho playing the ball over the top. That was early on at the first half, and the deflection off the goalkeeper's, or the goalkeeper grabs it. That's the one we were talking about with Torres Saunders, where he just a little bit tentative coming out to get that ball.
Nice play. Just across was just too far out.
And a good touch by the defender to make sure that ball goes away from goal instead of on goal.
And there's Mwembia again.
And Mwembia showing his characteristic aggressiveness. And that play right there to Chris Brennan. What a great short free kick to play it to the near side, and he makes that turn with the left-footed shot.
He wanted it real bad, there's no doubt. And Mwembia again and over the top. Doesn't get anything but so somebody able to grab that.
Well, he made a great reaction, saved diving to his right.
Shortly, we'll have some more stats for you from the first half. Saw some great highlights at the half. Bowling Green nil, Akron nil. Max Soccer on ESPN 3. Good look at the University of Akron students. Tell you what, they're going to have to get the pipe and drum corps going here to get the Zips fired up. Now, speaking of being fired up, Otto, there was no lack of offense by the Zips, but there was one thing that got in the way. And you know what it was? It was the goalie, the netminder, Anthony Mwembia. There you have it. Overall, Akron 8 shots to Bowling Green's 3 on goal. Akron 4, BG 1, 7 fouls to 4, corner kicks 2, and 2 offsides for Akron, 1 for the Bowling Green Falcons.
Well, you look at that stat sheet, and you're right, Munch. Every single category is being led by the Akron Zips except for one, and that's saves. And it's Anthony Mwembia, who's been coming up big for them. Shot in and shot out.
And again, good look at the Akron students staging for the second half. I guarantee you, getting some flag work in there.
Well, there you go. Check out this upcoming schedule.
Yeah, October 24th, Pittsburgh, West Virginia 27th, Marshall and Northern Illinois. So you got back-to-back, and of course we're finishing up a 4-match homestand here.
Well, it was really interesting.
Otto will continue that thought when we come back
Perfect.
at halftime.
It's really interesting.
Akron and Bowling Green. I'm frankly surprised right now, but we'll tell you why when we come back. It is ESPN 3, Mac Soccer. Getting ready for the second half. Otto, it was almost like it was too good for a short amount of time as you're getting ready to elucidate on something that you saw in the first half.
Well, it wasn't elusive. It was the halftime interview, and that's Coach Embeck. And there's a lot of questions that I've had throughout the course of doing these broadcasts about what's going through his mind. Why is that goalkeeper in there? Why haven't I seen Egbo? But then listening to him, he is prepping this team, as you mentioned at the beginning of the telecast, about how he's prepping the team and everything that he thinks about is for the future. Today we finally saw that group of 4 players, Gainford, Kasey, Egbo, and Hines, all together in the last 10 minutes of the first half, and it was just a flurry of offense for the Zips. So, I don't know, watching Coach Jared Embick become from an assistant coach to a head coach and what's going on, it's a real good study and an excellent college coaching career.
Otto, should you start with those offensive-minded players here in the second half to try to get something to find the back of the net?
Well, they're warm, and they finished the first half with a lot of success, so I don't know why anybody would change him. He mentioned at halftime that, they're going to lay back and they're going to have to figure out how to break it down, where the Zips have figured out how to break it down. They just need to get a nice touch and put the ball in the back of the net. Referee getting out of the way nicely there.
Boy, good
Ford lays the ball outside to the right.
Very nice job that time.
Other thing I was going to say, and that is that the fan club down there behind the goal, unfortunately, is going to have to sit and watch while most of the play is down here on our left, all the way at the other end of the field from them.
Well, they had it for the first half, just couldn't get enough mojo there to get one past Mr. Wambia. We're in the second half of play, 0-0. Akron and Bowling Green, and the difference so far in this match has been the play of the keeper, Mr. Anthony Wambia, number 24, who is aggressive, who takes chances, and a very solid young man. Good spin move that time, and right peg. Wambia just stayed with all the way. Otto, you got to take a shot. You got to put some shots on goal.
And Kasey with some kind of a spinning move. He kept his balance with his left arm and swung his body around to not only make contact with the ball, actually put that shot on frame.
Now, Wambia, again, just sends it down right back to Moutinho.
But that was much more of an attempt at a directed kick. It was a low side volley punt distribution.
Look at Gainford in the middle. Oh, my, it's high.
And who is that? I believe that was Nick Hines breaking in from midfield.
Hines just came flying in. And did you notice what happened? Gainford to João Moutinho. Here's Moutinho with the left peg. Could have put it right there. Oh, my.
And the ball was cleared out by the defender, but Hines, again, right in between that penalty mark and the top of the 6-yard box.
Good attack, good hesitation. Ball is loose, popped out.
Well, there's the answer to your question, Munch. This is a sustained attack that just seems to be continuing from the first half right into the beginning of the second.
Pressure. I joked the other day, like in football, we have a coin toss and teams defer. Like I said, I never saw General Patton defer.
When you got the opportunity to...
I like to attack, Otto.
Yeah, that's it. Make the choice and create your own destiny there.
I understand sometimes you can come back at you with the counter. But no, attack.
So the other thing that we're always marveling about João Moutinho playing in the back, one of the center backs, but the left center back. Here we go. Let's follow this attack down the right-hand side as nobody home for that pass.
No, and Tay Robertson was just there to take it away. Actually, he didn't take it away. It went right to him. Good aggression that time. Boy.
So if you look
quick
at what
whistle.
They gave him the foul call, but what has happened, and it's a good
I love
foul,
it.
right?
I say quick whistle.
That's a long sliding tackle, but what's happening is we looked at the fouls. Akron leads in fouls, but their fouls are in the offensive end, and that's what Coach Embeck says, let's put the pressure on and then win those balls deep in their zone and finally break them down. It's happening exactly as he drew it up.
But also what also is happening, like I've noted, when Bia just sends it down and it's coming back the other way.
Do you see Moutinho fight for that ball? I mean, you would not think a guy his size, his stature, was going to go up against the beast that the forward is for.
Boy, as soon as Gainford touches that, he is marked. And that's Akon on him.
And he's so dangerous. He's missed so much time, but still has 5 goals on the season.
Boy, look at that hustle that time by De Vera. A lot of players can't do what he did. Now it's Cordero. Cordero trying to lead Gainford into the box. Put it in front. Oh, my. Good defense again, and just a little too long.
Did you see the peek he took, Sam? That ball's bouncing. He takes a peek up over his right shoulder and then knows he's got one chance to get it in right there. Takes the look, and boom, drives it across with his left foot.
Right through the wicket, and we couldn't get it to go. But now a corner kick. Right in the box and out again.
It gives it to him again, and good attack by the BG defense, but that's a different look for the corner kick. Low and near post, which is nice, mixing it up.
But what are the Zips doing? Keeping the pressure on, attack, attack. That one just too far out of the box.
All
With
the way over the
again
top.
again.
Yep.
Brennan
Really
not
nice
taking, with the Brennan good move because not taking any chances of letting the ball linger in the box.
No, you can't do that ever, actually.
Mm-hmm.
And every coach and every goalkeeper especially will tell you to get that ball out.
DeVera shows that gear, taking 2 defenders. Good slide tackle that time. That was a good
Oh,
job.
he gives him a goal kick on this.
Whoa!
Jared Embeck also had great praise for Nico DeVera, who he said has had some defensive lapses in the past, but this year taking advantage of his explosive speed and attacking down the left wing, but also playing very, very consistent in the back.
Anthony Wembia.
As a senior, that's a great way to finish up your career.
I'll tell you, not a great way to give the ball back to the Zips there, though.
No, that was kind of strange because
Yeah.
he's left-footed. I'm not exactly sure what that was. Some kind of a shank, and happens to all of us. But
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll tell you what, if that was a gimme field goal, he missed it. Look at Matinho right down the middle, going to push it. Boy, just a little too far that time for Hans.
you know, there's not a lot of players who can pull off what he does from the back, and that is breaking through the first line of defense on the opposing team. Watch, he's going to
Here
try
he
it
goes
again right here.
Just
He
splits him.
penetrates, and his head's up while he's dribbling. His touches are so good. And then look, he's raising his hands. He didn't have anybody. If the team attacks with him, he's one dangerous player coming right out of the back, dead down the center.
Schultz. And you talk diagonal pass, there's a diagonal dribble. Gainford going to let it go, and Mwembia is right there. And Mwembia makes sure he just doesn't use his hands on it. He uses his entire body to
Got his
corral
whole
it.
body down like a good goalkeeper. At least get 2 parts of your
Right.
body behind the ball.
Because it
But-
can spin out of the hands.
But that's great for, well, and if you attack it, you're more likely to hold on to it. And then it's almost like a short hopper in the infield, right? If you wait for it, that ball plays you. But if you attack it and get it on the short hop, you attack the ball and you're in charge.
Boy, Gaffer just schooled Brennan that time. Brennan went for a slide tackle. Gaffer pulled back and just tapped it by him.
What do you like about Gainford there? I mean, he saw that he got one touch on that ball from Matinho, turned and hit it. And the way he's been scoring goals this season, taking a shot, a quick shot turn like that is a great thing to see.
It's a great header that time by Mr. Cassay. And who's there again? Not sure.
He's racking him up today.
Anthony Mwembia.
He's going to go for that low-driven ball again. Gets underneath it, a lot of backspin.
Wants Brennan and take it away
Matinho,
from him.
and Gainford's got time out here by himself on the
I
left.
like this. And you know what? We've negated Brennan so far today. Leading scorer from Copley for Bowling Green. Dumped it off just a little shy that time, and Bowling Green was Johnny on the spot with their defense. Akon, gonna dump it right back into the
Oh,
middle.
nice touch.
Very nice touch. Oh, my. That's what I call a great job.
And
of
look at the
dribbling.
timing of Matinho there. Step up,
Tate
50-50
Robertson,
ball.
yeah. Robertson, now you know why he's a leader on their team in assists. The way he pushed that ball. He has somebody overlapping or somebody making a cut, he can hit them nicely.
Well, for the first time this half, Akron having to retreat all the way back to the top of their own penalty area.
Giving a thumbs up, which I'm sure is some direction for his
It's
team.
a lot of times just the timing of their runs or what play they're going to use. It's actually real similar to the baseball signals that are given, just much simpler.
Tate Robertson going to track it back down again and get it all the way back to Mwembia. They're taking the air out of it too, Otto. As much time as they can eat up, they're figuring, hey, if we can get one goal, the way we've been playing, the way Mwembia's been playing, it could be enough.
That's exactly right. Unfortunately, when they drop it all the way back, that gives Akron a chance to step up, and Akron is so good at putting that pressure on, playing defense in the offensive end. Dangerous. But there's an attack, and look at that. We got the ball coming in and a player wide open with a header. If he does a little better job there, that's another great opportunity to score for Bowling Green.
I'll tell you, Bowling Green has a few and in between chances, but when they've had some very, very nice shots. And I don't hear something you were saying because yesterday Joe Matinho named one of 8 impact freshmen nationally by Top Drawer Soccer. Called him a dark horse national freshman of year candidate.
Well, I love that phrase, dark horse, but anybody who's actually gotten a chance to see him
He's
play,
not one, is he?
he's not a dark
No.
horse. This kid should be one of the favorites. I really, have not seen many many players who can impact the game the way he does, but as a freshman, it's that much more impressive.
And I'll tell you what's fun, too. Coach called him Jow. In the beginning of the game, it was Joao. And I believe we have him at Joao.
Joao, yeah.
Yes.
We got a little
your old teammate, Mr. Eddie Acevedo, a.k.a. Joao.
Joao Eduardo Acevedo.
You say that well, my friend.
Well, he was my best buddy. There we go. Who gets another shot? And that deflection.
Mwambia a little late on that. Didn't
well,
pick
he was
it up
a little early on it, Munch.
You think he was early?
He was early, and what happened was the ball got deflected, and so he actually overdove the ball because of the timing, and but still had the wherewithal to get his hands on that and make a save. Watch this. A little deflection there, and it goes down and hits him.
And he just got the hand out there to knock it away.
That's nice, because he didn't have to extend for that. That caught him somewhere back by the chest.
And a little bit of roughhousing there. Brennan, did he get called for anything?
I know, but Brennan's a tough player, and as a young man coming home to play in front of a lot of home fans, he's really given it all his effort.
Is that adrenaline pumping pretty good for him?
Yeah, I tell you one thing. The worst thing for me going home to play was the signs my mom would make and put in the stands back in Buffalo, New York. So as long as and the one time my sister sang the national anthem, I was mortified.
Dude, but she was great, wasn't she?
Until she started the Canadian national anthem and forgot the words. It was really, really bad.
I could help her out. Oh, Canada.
Oh, I hope she doesn't get ESPN 3. Oh, my word. Yeah, she repeated "Oh Canada" about 5 times, and on the 3rd or 4th time, I wanted to shrink.
No, you're fine. And there's Mr. Mwambia.
What a great save there.
He has done it every which way. Body, hands, punch.
Yeah, that ball as it came around that defender that last time, I think he thought he might have to stretch and get it, but as the ball hit, he made that save with his arms right above his chest. It was very nicely done.
What's amazing is the attack here of Akron that Mwambia keeps turning it away. Did you see the
ball just out of the reach that he bent on that left defender?
Bowling Green collapsing in the box. Boy, that was a nice move that time. And nothing called. Nate Schultz went down. Good hard-nosed play on both sides today.
So look for this kick to go out this side to the right.
Just going to play it easy.
Brennan's asking for a chance at the ball now. And he looks like a battler. Right there he goes, taking the sprint out to the right. Ball gets played to the center. And just one poor touch by Tate Robertson.
Zips back on the attack. He was looking the other way.
It was not a bad ball at all by Nick Hines coming out of the middle, but that was unfortunate. Holt Houston took a look over his right shoulder. The ball was being played on his left side.
Yes, oh my. It's going to happen sometimes. But there was as good a chance as they could have had.
Well, and you know, there's the saying's been said by many different players, but you don't score unless you get chances. And in order to get chances, you got to be in the right place at the right time.
I don't like Brennan by himself right there in the box. Now they're going to come back.
Yeah, as you can see, they didn't like it either because the adjustment's been made, and now
Did they hear me, Otto?
Tavera and Motinha are fronting and backing him. So
good job that time coming out.
Covered now.
Kasey.
Oh, that's Kasey, sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. Very, very judicious. Boy,
oh, my word.
That was dangerous. Oh, boy. Tor Saunders.
All right, I'm not going to make any predictions, but I'm telling you what, this is not going to go over well with the coaching staff. That's the second ball.
Yeah. Tor Saunders is going to have some film session, I believe, this evening after the game.
Well, it's almost like being prepped. You know, it doesn't matter. A coach would much rather have you drive the ball 20 feet over the outside wall there than try to play it up the middle into a defender where it can go into your own goal. And as a goalkeeper, I can tell you I've done it, and it's no fun.
Boy, dodging another bullet. I'll tell you, if he's a cat, he's used up 3 of his lives. Akron back on the attack. Good ball. Dumps it off up top right. Akron likes to attack from right. Into the box. You got to turn the player.
Gainford was wide open.
Yeah.
Oh, and he couldn't cut it just behind the defender.
Hines, nice little tap in. Boy, oh my! Another great save by Mwambia with the left hand.
So Sam Gainford is what a wherewithal he has inside the box. As the ball, he was receiving it, he's taking a look, he's asking for the ball, and boom, he just chips it first time, knowing he's going for the far post. And a great save by Mwambia.
Does Mwambia know that toe?
No, I don't know if he knew it was going there, but he shut it down quick.
Oh, man, what a brilliant play.
Gainford hanging out on the far side. The ball gets all the way across to him, and good coverage there at the end.
Great coverage. Brennan actually showing that he played defense too.
I love the way that Gainford plays there. I'm asking him frequently on corner kicks to leave somebody out past the goal because a lot of the garbage, a lot of the deflections ends up out there.
Cordero. Good job as he come back on top. Nico De Vera. De Vera wants in the box, and boy, Mombilla just skies over everyone.
At first,
Got
I
some
thought
hops
that
too,
may have,
doesn't
because
he?
I think
Yeah.
that ball he thought might be crossed in front. He came out a little early anticipating it, but he got up there.
Look at this, 7 shutouts and 15 clean sheets, 15 goose eggs, and 31 career matches. You gotta love what he's doing.
There's no question about it. And to
He
have
is-
a .9
Yeah.
goals against average with 6 losses, that's not easy to do.
Which means his offense has let him down. There's Peter Pugliese. Peter, gonna lose the ball, and who took it away? Mr. Moutinho does it all. Look at Gainford. Stop, go,
And back to
Amazing.
Faisal Gafour.
Yeah.
And there's an opening. Oh, he didn't see him.
No, he did not.
Nick Hines was open there for a pass through a diagonal ball on the
Oh
right-hand side.
my! I pull a card on this guy. This T. Robertson. Little.
Well, on the next one, he's
active.
getting a verbal warning right
Yeah.
now, but he didn't throw the ball anywhere and bounced it straight down. It came back to him. Nice heel pass into the corner.
Now watch take 2 though. Watch what's going to happen here on Gafour. Looks like he almost comes down on him intentionally. So, kind of like side straddles him. Just let's work his kidneys over a little bit. But
I'm going to keep my mouth shut. I'm not arguing with you.
You didn't like it?
Well, you got to fight in there. I mean,
Okay, I'm with you.
They're playing as an underdog team. They're battling like crazy in the middle.
So Akron needs to be more aggressive.
No, just don't complain about it when a guy's playing tough against you. That's all.
Look at that. Couple guys going, and guess who that is again? Mr. Tate Robertson.
So they're mixing it up, and it's getting a little chippy in the middle of the field here, but I'm not sure if we
You
see
enjoy
anything
it. I
from
like
the.
that.
Yeah, I mean, this is a sport. You got to have some
It's
physical
competition.
play. And
I don't mind the physical play either. I don't like the extracurricular. You fall on somebody, there's no need to maybe a little elbow.
No,
to
and
the side once
honestly,
you're
I didn't
falling.
see any there, but my eyes aren't as good as yours much. So
Have new glasses, I want you to know. But there you see, I'll tell you what, that young man is a tough kid. Tate Robertson, one of the assist leaders on the Bowling Green Falcons from Springfield, Ohio. Right outside of Dayton there. Home of Wittenberg University, Springfield Catholic.
finally, we get the ball back in play. When Bia drives it long.
Boy.
3 people, 2 different attempts, and
Nico De Vera ends up with it. Left peg
Nobody
taken
gets a
right
head on
back
the
away
ball.
by Akon.
Akon, you keep mentioning that name, and as you said, you've mentioned it a dozen times or so, but he's having a real steady game back
Yes,
there.
he is.
And they're under quite a bit of pressure, so that's why you keep hearing his number called.
Peter Pugliese going to dump it right back out to Robertson. Robertson on top. Going to give it
Now
away.
look at that pressure.
Boy.
Pressure from 4. It's almost like they converged on each other,
Mm-hmm.
like one of those little things. I mentioned it before. You get it at the science store where it expands and it contracts. Man, they cover ground quickly to open when they win the ball and close it down as soon as they lose it.
Interesting because it's gotten physical, as you said, in the middle of the field, especially there's Charlie Majewski, number 11 for BG. And Akron's going to go back onto attack and try to set it up. Now De Vera is on the near side. Why, look at
Look
Gainford
at that
streaking on the
burst of
middle.
speed.
Oh, my. They want Gainford. They're not going to get him. Who popped it away again? Akon. It's been the Akon went Bia show.
I
boy.
think that was Nick Hines. Was that Nick breaking in on the right side?
That
deep
was
again?
Nick breaking it in. Gainford wants to work his magic. Gonna dump it on top. Good job. Oh boy, good job.
Holdhusen just tripped over the ball a little bit there as he tried to make his second turn. But look at the pressure by De Vera.
Yeah.
And again, Moutinho steps up to benefit from that pressure to win the ball.
Dumped it off to Moutinho.
Holdhusen forced it back to
Moutinho.
him.
And who's there fighting with him? Mr. Akon. And it's
You look at Holdhusen.
Bowling Green's ball. Look at this.
He's a senior,
Mhm.
and he's receiving the ball from a freshman.
There's
and what does he
Stewart.
do on his first touch? He's getting it right back to the freshman. There is no lack of respect on this team for Joao Moutinho.
He's an amazing young man and amazing skills. He's a different maker right there along with Gainford. And there's a good shot at Mwambie again. Going to try to leave it short. Pick up his man. Peter Pugliese seems to be a little bit more active here in the second half. Akon knocked off the ball. And
The
here
pressure
comes the
was
attack.
there.
Mm-hmm. Right up to the
And there it goes again.
Good job by Cordero. Akron seems to thwart Bowling Green every time they make it. Look at Cordero. Defensive, offensive end, defensive end. Defensive middle of the field. You got to love what he's doing. He's bringing to this game.
Well, absolutely. But you saw Mo Mustafa try to bring that ball up the middle, and as he brought it up the middle, his touch is a little too far, and the Akron defense is ready to pounce on it. It's the difference between having quality touches in the middle of the field there.
Look at the ball Gainford just gave to Cordero. Nothing to it.
Oh, a deflection. Can he get a left foot on that?
No, he can't in a great start.
Well, he did get his left foot on that. Munch, it was just a great defensive play to keep it from going into the middle. But I'm telling you what, that's the second time we've seen that flick off where it looks like they're going one way and the ball is played back the other way. That time by Azana Kasey, a flick off back to me.
And Hines was right there. Good. Again, another good slide tackle that time playing defense.
So it looks like Cordero going down. It is Cordero. He's going to take the corner kick, so it'll be an in-swinger with the right foot.
Right in and popped out again.
But this time way out, about 25 yards out for a throw in.
Bowling Green gaining confidence here as they go along.
Well, as again, Coach Jared Embeck said, they're going to sit back and look to counter. The good thing for the Zips is they're not giving them any chance to counter. As soon as they push the ball out a few touches,
we drop back quickly, yes.
Yeah, the pressure, they're taking it right away from it.
Well, it's the defenders we have that are so skillful. I mean, would you know it if I told you that Moutinho's a defender?
Well, you know what it is, though? It's the confidence they have in each other. They're really playing well as a team. If there was one game I wanted to see this year, it was the loss to Western Michigan on the road because I didn't get to see what happened in that game, but it's hard for me to imagine how their team broke down because this defense they've been playing is just fantastic.
This seems to be the bailiwick of the Zips on the right side of the goal. Trying to center, can't get it to go, and defense again, and Tate Roberts, who we mentioned his name quite a bit too. He's picked up the defense for Bowling Green. 25-55 left in the match. Good hustle along there. Boy, Nick Hines, a little high toss there at Mr. Akon, or just trying to get the ball to him so he can start the attack for Bowling Green.
I have no idea what's going through his mind.
You've been there. Hold on a second. I think you do, but we won't ask you to read it. Hey, you know what? Again, I like what you said earlier. It is competition. You're in there, you're banging a little bit. It's part of the game. Boy, sky high that time for a header. And another one. Gainford was hoping it would come down to him. And, boy, they're just trying to get Brennan free, and they're not going to do it.
Mo Mustafa sends it deep sometimes. Just hopefully give the Bowling Green team a little bit of a breather. But this is like a...
Look at Moutinho just driving through two.
NFL team having to be on the field for defense for 10 or 20 plays in a row. It's sooner or later they've got to have a breakdown here, and that's what Coach Embeck once again was mentioning. If they can keep the defense up for the full match, they should have plenty of chances to sneak one in.
Well, it's interesting what you said, because I've always felt the most important play in football is the first down, for the reason that you mentioned. Boy, a little too long that time. Just let it trickle out of bounds.
So you see some of the... Oh, there we go. I like to see Cordero clap because Azana Kasey is waving his arms up front. I think he doesn't like that straight ball. He'd prefer to have a diagonal ball. But I'm glad they're not getting frustrated because, it's one of the most dangerous things in sports, but especially soccer. You have attempt after attempt after attempt, and then one counterattack, one break, and the other team who looks like they haven't done anything all game takes the lead.
I'm glad you said that because you have to stay focused each and every possession. Good job by Gaffur. And good job again by the defense of Bowling Green. Boy, Gaffur jumped it.
That's a foul. He got him from
he did
took the ball, but after he took out his leg. And, that defensive center backs back there, Strachan and Moutinho. I love the fact that they're both freshmen and that they have confidence in him. There he goes right across the back of the leg before he went through to get the ball. But they're flanked by Nate Schultz, by Nico De Vera, who are two senior defenders. So that's a great combination in back there for the Zips.
Just to get them a little bit of experience with them, but the youth cannot be denied for what they bring to this game. And you said Moutinho reminds me of types of the ball, that point guard. Who just, is breaking somebody's ankles with his crossover dribble.
Well, and you look, he's not, in my mind, I don't even want to say, it might be a little bit of a stretch, but he's looking a few moves ahead. I love Bobby Fischer, but he looks not to the person he's going to play it to. He looks to where the defender is, and if the defender's attacking, he keeps his head down and makes a no-look pass past the defender to our next midfielder. It's really impressive.
Gainford into the middle. Boy.
Quick turn there with the left foot.
Yes, indeed. Good job. Going to dump it off. Gainford's going to cat and mouse for a bit. Man posted up that time was Holthusen, and it comes back the other way. And
that's a tough ball because it was the pace on it was so hard coming into him. So he tried to deflect it off to one of his teammates, unable to do so.
Gaffur. Now you've got Hines.
Oh, I like this.
Right,
Gainford with some space.
Man,
And,
my, he wanted Kasey in the middle and didn't get him.
good
Look at
defensive
the
play.
using an Aco. Boy.
Will he help him up? No. Offered a hand.
Ebenezer Akon. And Holdhusen banging pretty good there. I like that.
He's getting a yellow for it, I believe,
I'm going to see what happened here.
because he jumps over the top.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of hands.
Did you help him up?
It depends on what was said right before.
And there you go.
No, but they're battling for the ball, and you know what's happening. That
Mhm.
when the forwards got the ball within reach, there it can't be obstruction. The defender, or actually the Bowling Green player, used his body to shield the ball, and Holthusen in frustration used his arms to try to get around it.
And Akon did it beautifully. I mean, he did what he was
But
supposed to do.
Holthusen's having a great game.
Yes,
he cannot he cannot get frustrated and get out of his game because another yellow card and he's gone. And there again, at least I like to see that Tor Saunders came out and got that, but it was a questionable decision with the
agree.
proximity of the defender. So this is I would say the fourth time today that there's been a little indecision on Tor Saunders' part.
Again,
Look at
Moutinho
this ball. Is it going to make it over? It almost
No.
not well measured enough by
had it back the other
Moutinho.
way. But look, Moutinho is right there again. Cordero, a little shove push from behind. Good job. There's Kasey. Boy.
Look at Nick Hines out on the right.
Devera.
Now he's covered. There's
Back
some
to
space
Moutinho.
behind him.
What do you know what they want to do?
Strachan. There he finds Hines.
Hines kind of just lulls.
Faisal
and then
Ghaffur
he'll
with a
blow
good
by
change
you.
of direction there. I like that. It's one of the great things, and it's not done enough at the youth game. But when the ball's being brought across the midfield, to not just pass the ball to change directions.
Boy,
There's a
Gainford,
card coming the other
yeah.
way this time, and
Now in this
Sam Gainford's got to keep his hands off the other
Yeah.
players, or he's going to
Oh,
end up
he just
getting a
gave it
yell
to-
on himself.
A little tap in the back.
Both
he
legs,
didn't like
that's
that at all.
dangerous. And Sam already coming off a little tweak there.
Mhm.
Yellow card center 15, Ebenezer Akon for Bowling Green.
Here's Keaton Reynolds.
I don't understand why a player would be sitting here arguing this call. It's very, very dangerous when you get someone else's legs cut up between yours and you're sliding. So
Keaton Reynolds is one of the captains. Is it his duty to go get his guys back? Not in a situation like that.
no, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's my mistake. I thought he's the one making the foul.
No.
Thanks.
He was the captain and came over to talk. That's okay, my friend.
I'm
We-
looking at stat
we're a
sheets.
team.
I'm looking at what's going on, and all right.
Boy, trying to wrap it. Header goes awry.
So where's that? It's very difficult for that ball, right? A player standing still to get up and get that one on goal. It's
Mhm.
usually the player that's moving toward the ball a little bit that can redirect it with a lot more ease.
You get the movement rather than just
Yeah,
stand
so
there and everybody collapses on you.
Plus, who's going to, it's very difficult for defenders. You can almost run by one of your other teammates, creating a pick to free yourself up for a little space. So a little more movement in the box, especially attacking the ball. Forced to play the
Good
ball out with
pressure
his
on
right
Wembia.
foot.
I like that. It's going to come right back to the Zips, too. Mr. Joao Moutinho. Moutinho in the middle.
Wembia with a pretty impressive right foot, though. He's been clearing the ball with his left foot,
Yes.
kicking with his left foot, and then he had to play it out to his right in order to get out of that pressure, and he cleared it safely. So good job.
Devera off to Schultz. Schultz going to lay it up top. Trying to make
A little bit of a
Oh,
difficult
boy.
ball there, otherwise
Yeah.
he'd have been able to turn it. He tries twice instead of using the left foot,
Mhm.
tries to use the outside of the right foot.
And look at this. Here comes Chris Brennan. Brennan gets a run. Oh, good D that time. And Brennan is solid. You got to play on, lads.
I like this because it's
Yes.
advantage Akron, but the foul is certainly against Chris Brennan for bulldozing.
Well, you know what? In basketball, that would be a charge.
No question about it. And
Oh,
in
my.
soccer, that's a charge.
Okay.
But it was a play on by the officials.
Mhm.
So
I agree with that.
he's a bulldozer, that guy. And look at this, puts his head down. And
Yeah, he does put it down.
Straight through.
Oh, my. Was that
It's
Strachan?
Strachan,
Did
the
he feel it?
freshman, taking it in the chest.
Now, Agbo, you see him dropping down?
Agbo replaces his not like set.
I like it. That's Agbo back in. If
Mhm.
Akron can get the ball to his feet,
Hold Houston.
just as
Boy.
I say that, it just glances over the top of his
Yeah.
head.
And headed out again by Akon. Coming back the other way. No one's there except
I would stretch this
The Akron
this
defense.
offense, stretch this offense, get Gainford out wide, and try to make a little more room in the middle for Egbo. If you get him the ball anywhere near that penalty mark, he's a dangerous man.
it's been all Zips on the attack with nothing to show on the scoreboard. dump back. Point man's going to set it up again. Strachan.
One of my notes after watching the halftime interview, Coach Jared Embeck basically called it. I mean, he called exactly what this game was going to be in his pregame interview.
Boy, Brennan dumped it nicely, tried to spin and move it on his own. Akon trying to find Brennan down the other way. Brennan is all over the field, all over the pitch, banging out with Cordero. And Cordero's going to set it back nicely.
Cordero being a little too patient on that ball.
Yeah. Get Brennan a chance to catch back up.
Brennan doesn't quit, does he?
No.
And Cordero had the chance to clear that out to the right much earlier than he did.
Has to move a little bit quicker to that. Now you know why Brennan is their leader in the goals and second leader is tied for second with assists.
Oh, nice change of direction there. Looking to his right,
It was Mr.
flicking the ball to
Ebenezer
his
Akon,
left.
yeah.
Akon's a stud for this BG team today.
Yeah. Cordero, Nico De Vera. Gonna get it to Egbo.
And Egbo gets the ball down to Sam.
I like Sam down there. I've seen him.
Look at now. Look where he is.
Right.
Oh,
My! Just a little too long.
What a wonderful ball again.
A great ball.
The opportunities are still coming, and this attack that they've put together has really been bearing some fruit.
This is no disparaging Stuart Holvuse at all. Is it just late in the game, didn't have enough to get there, or did he hesitate for a second?
Well, he's got to stay onside, laying back with the players. Sam beats the line. He could have stretched it in. If he would have stretched it in a little farther, actually, Egbo was open out at the penalty mark. So, but you know, that's just within the range of the goalkeeper. Where Holthusen was standing is a perfect position. Just was unable to get it. That ball had just a little too much pace.
Well, that was brilliant, though. That's Gainford.
And that's a great cutback on his left foot to lose the defender just to be able to get that ball through.
And I've seen Gainford blow by people there, just kind of, dribbling left foot and just kind of right foot tap it once he gets by someone. Peter Pugliese. Good hounding that time by Cordero. There's Gainford making sure it's not an easy job.
A nice, simple ball out of the back by Akon, and look where that ball is ending up. Now it's on the left wing from one touch out of the back, just perfect touch so his midfielder could turn onto the ball.
Great job of catching up with the ball that time, I believe, Pugliese. And he's going to come back. Who's going to get this one? Akon came up on the attack. Good shield, the guy at your body, and lose the ball, and Akron comes back the other way. Here they come on the attack. Holthusen's going to find Gainford. Oh, my. Tried to stretch out to get there. Otto is frustrating at times, isn't it? You just think you can get to it, and it's just inches away.
But it's definitely frustrating, but at the same time, you got to love that there's chances. And Sam's got to love that as soon as Stewart there gets his head up, he sees him, and he's playing him the ball. So they're not always going to connect. If he uses his left foot there, he's off stride a little bit, but he might have a little better chance of getting it.
It's going to happen. It is going to happen. There's Tate Robertson. Mentioned his name quite a few times today. Dump it off. They're still trying to get the ball to Brennan. And we said Brennan is a fire plug on two legs. Wow, what a great job of defense to take the ball away. And here come the Zips. Now it's popped back the other way. Brennan looking. Wants it overlap that time. Has a man. And it's going to be offside.
So Keaton Reynolds now. Brennan has dropped back off. So they kind of try to, hopefully the Akron's going to lose track of him. He's dropped off into like a attacking midfielder position. And in the meantime, you've got Keaton Reynolds, who's playing a little farther up front. He's taller and a little bit longer legs, so. And a little bit fresher legs, putting that pressure on.
A little stumble by Matinho, so he gets it off. Once again.
This right here is one of the most frustrating things for other teams, in my opinion, and that is when Akron gets the ball, the composure on these players. Today it's Gafour in there, but it's been Cordero and De Vera and Motinho, Strachan. They are just cool as a cucumber, each one of them with that ball under pressure in their own third of the field.
And look at that last ball from Joao, right between two defenders, right to the man he wanted to get. Pinpoint accuracy. Akron on the attack, top of the field. They love to be there. And good, get a quarter. If he can find a payphone and call a cop because he got his pocket picked. I haven't seen a payphone in a long time, have you?
Well, I've been traveling a little bit internationally, and the
payphone
is still in existence. Yeah, it's funny when you see kids, young kids. We took 9 little girls to Argentina and played Boca and River Plate.
Did they go, what's that, on a payphone?
No, they want to have their pictures taken with it. My mom used to talk about the payphone.
Now, I want you to know that record players are coming back. I've heard, like junior high kids, the cool kids play records at their parties.
I bought a really nice, the kind where you flip open the top to play the 45s, and it's got that
I got one too. I got the Restoration Hardware.
Detached. I bought it for my wife to play the 45s with my daughter a couple years back.
How much fun is that?
It's a lot of fun, and it's funny. But you know what's really funny about that? The B-sides.
And sometimes the B-sides are the hits that they weren't sure, so they threw them on there.
That's exactly right. It was fun to listen to those always.
I listened to the Rolling Stones Flowers album this morning while I was doing my housework.
I like it.
Have you seen your mother, baby, standing in the shadows?
What kind of housework were you doing today?
You know, what I do on
Dusting.
on Saturdays is I whip up a lot of food, put it in Tupperware containers. That way the wife and son have food during the week. And then I also do laundry.
Now you're making me feel bad.
Those are my jobs.
I had a chainsaw out there today.
Well, no, see, you're doing manly work. I actually got the saw and trimmed some trees, too. Back on the attack. Here come the Zips. Try to keep it in, and DeVera didn't let it.
That last free kick
subject,
floating all the way into Tor Saunders. Saunders taking it from the right side and from his right and distributing it out to DeVera on the left.
Bowling Green doing what I feel their plan is. You get the ball, just send it back because the clock is going to keep ticking away. Try not to give Akron time to set something up because we've seen the shots and the chances that the Zips have had on goal, and they've been beautiful. They just haven't been able to convert.
No, that's the first 30 minutes of this game. There was less clearances and a little more attempt to possess the ball by Bowling Green, but ever since that change was made with 10 and change in the first half, the attack by the Akron Zips have just been unbelievable.
Boy, Joe Korb going at it that time. Charlie Majewski.
Look at DeVera smartly backpedaling, so he opens up. He's open, the defender cuts him off, and what does Moutinho do? He goes through the middle. But this is a dangerous attack right here. He's got to play it, and he does play it in time, but DeVera steps up
you like
to
what
pick
DeVera
that
just
pocket.
did?
What timing.
Did he hear Coach Embix
well,
at halftime?
You know what it is? It's focus, and that's exactly because every player knows there's a foul right there.
Yeah.
A play on.
They play on that. Well, what can you do? The crowd didn't like it.
Sam Gainford didn't like it, and that should have been a foul in my humble estimation.
And you usually let them bang a little bit and let them go at it.
Hear this crowd. If we can hear it through the closed windows, nobody's happy about that no call.
Not at all. Very knowledgeable soccer crowd here at the University of Akron. First Energy Stadium, Cup Cadet Field, 0-0, 12:38 left. We've had one heck of a game, and I don't please, if anyone would tell me, see, there's no scoring. This has been as exciting as, put it this way, it's more exciting than watching.
Oh, what a touch, Sam Gainford. Here we go.
You got it open.
And there it is. And look, he should turn around, Sam. Look at this as he runs by that player. Look at him. Look at Sam Gainford give it to the other team. Fantastic turn.
That was brilliant. That was brilliant.
So there's justice for you.
Yeah. Boy, there you have it.
On this replay, the turn, but then the touch and the finish. I mean, fantastic, clinical, as they say.
That was brilliant. Who got the goal?
Is it Nick?
Nick Hines. Boy, look at Rick and Gainford. Tell me those aren't teammates.
I focused completely on Sam Gainford as he got that ball turned, and not only that, but after he passed it.
You and me both. So there's Hines. Just going to strike. Oh, my.
And Egbo was wide open out here on this side.
You had choices.
They really had choices, really had options.
They were going to score a goal that time, whether it was Hines or Egbo.
So we talked about the sustained attack and the inability not only for them to stop the sustained attack, but for Bowling Green to have any kind of possession. I wish we could see a little earlier than that because that pass by Sam Gainford was phenomenal.
Tickled
that
Twine
turn
and
one-touch pass was just
no
a great
doubt
job.
about it. Boy, tell me they're excited. Oh, my.
Look at
David
this.
Egbo. And Gainford was right over there, too. Give him some love.
Oh,
Nick
my
Hines.
word, right here. There's Joe
Gotta
Korb
get
right back.
Gainford.
Come on, Tim.
Gainford pulled it back. Gonna
He
bend
bends
it.
it.
Oh. Gainford wants that one
So
back,
there's
too.
just for you, Munch, and for those people out there watching the game, that right there is what they call zona Cesarini. The lack of focus by a team right after a goal is scored.
Zonich?
Cesarini, it's the guy's
Yes.
last name, Renato Cesarini. And actually, last World Cup, I tracked it, 74% of the goals were scored either after another goal or at the beginning of the first half or the second
So
half. And in extra time.
If we scored that time, I could have told you, Zonich, Cesarini.
Zonich. And the worst for me was having it yelled at by your coach afterward. He yelled beforehand, and that got everybody focused, which is a great thing. We use it for our kids now.
Did you see Gainford wanted that one back in a big way as soon as he struck it?
Well, you know, it's very similar to what happened the other day. João Moutinho stumbled over ball, top of the box, gets scored against. He comes down the field and has the next 2 goals within 5 minutes.
Oh, we got to get a goal marked up here.
Everybody in this stadium knows that they're not getting away without putting that up on the board. It's on the big scoreboard outside. So
yeah, it is 1-0 Akron. 11 minutes left in the game. You're watching ESPN 3. Mark Punch Bishop, Otto Orff having the time of our life. Hope you are too, and honor and pleasure to bring this match to you. Boy,
And this
Bowling
is,
Green tried to pull it back. Going the wrong way, though, lads, with the 10:45 left.
So the changes that have been made up front finally bear some fruit, as we were talking about, but now we don't have to worry so much about pressuring to get that goal, and the counterattack can be a little more defensive-minded for these last 10.5 minutes.
And Otto Akron stayed with those changes once they were made in the first half.
You know what's amazing to me, Munch? I have not been watching the clock. I've been focused on this game. This second half has blown by. Really a lot of action, a lot of great attacks. And
BG is trying to dump it in, and there's nobody. That's why Brennan's looking, man, you got to put the ball where somebody is. Remember, gentlemen, that's why you have teammates out there.
now all of a sudden, we've got Chris Brennan back up front. They're trying to drop him back a little bit to generate maybe some more possession and play the ball forward up to Keaton Reynolds.
There was a good look at Eric Nichols at his 9th year as head coach of Bowling Green on the sideline. And there's Coach Jared Embick. Very, almost like a professor, you know, that does stalking the sidelines.
I really, I don't want to say gained a lot more respect for him, but I have a lot of respect for Coach Jared Embick because all of the moves that he's been making, all the questions in my mind that I've had since we started doing these broadcasts are slowly being answered, and answered in very positive ways. So it's a lot of fun to see what's going on.
Well, look at the changes he made in the first half and stuck with them to start the second. The proof is in the pudding right there. Or the proof is on the pitch, I will say.
Well, you remember the name you've been calling for Bowling Green in the back right side, which is Ebenezer Akon. He's not back there anymore. And look where he is. He's up in the attacking midfield. So for this last 9.5 minutes, look to see the ball go through. And there we are with the right-hand side to Ebenezer. And he's obviously one of their strongest players, so they're going to move him up to the front to see if he can have an impact on the last 10 minutes.
Boy, Fasilka fires down. Let's see what happened here.
He's getting stretched, which is a good sign.
Akon?
So Gafour, now he's feeling, it's kind of funny, but right, this is his first start. Doesn't matter, it's first start in a while. I don't want to say his first start of the season, but
so
it's the first time he started a match. So he's been out there the whole time. It's really hard to recreate game conditions in practice and in training. So having the cramps does not surprise me right here.
I'm glad for this view here, because when you showed it up close, I want people to know this is natural grass.
Absolutely.
It was cut twice before. We've seen the crew come out and seed before the game, after the game.
Seed
and interesting,
and fertilize.
No sprinklers today before the game.
I wonder if it's because they were expecting it to be a little cooler, and when that water doesn't evaporate so much, it becomes really slick out there. So maybe they didn't want to affect the game. I'm sure they'll water it right after the game. But yes, this Cub Cadet field, the way they maintain this field, you can see the little spots we were talking about, the little spots of bright green where they recently fertilized, but everything by hand. Every time there's a slide mark or a divot, the next halftime or after the game, the maintenance crews out here fixing it up. It's one of the nicest soccer fields, natural grass. You can play anywhere in the country, California, Florida. This is some of the nicest grass to play on.
I will call it the
country.
sacred pitch at First Energy Stadium Cup Cadet Field.
I actually touched my toes on it earlier today.
Did you really? I did
not.
Because like you said, once one person does, everybody wants to.
Yeah, well, I didn't walk all the way on it. They didn't get the full weight of my measure.
There you see Peter Pugliese. Pugliese from Cambridge, Ontario.
I don't want to see that replay, but I think that's an illegal throw-in, and I think every one of them should be called.
His foot wasn't dragging?
And at college level and high school and higher, you should have to do 10 push-ups after you make an illegal throw-in. That's all I got to say.
Boy, Bowling Green tried to be a little bit more aggressive there on the attack. There's the lead, and good job on defense. Boy, don't get in trouble down in the corner, though, lads.
DeVera's so quick that he can come back and use his right foot, or his left foot, to make that turn and the trap and the pass.
What a beautiful pass, too. Just laid it out there, caught up with nicely.
Tries to toe poke it through, which is not a bad idea because he saw Nick Hines, but the ball was off his foot, so he wasn't able to make a normal inside of the foot pass.
Good job, though, just taking it away from two Bowling Green players that time.
And Nick Hines got to appreciate that. You know, there's sometimes when the player, you're open as a player making a run, but the ball is just not in the position of another player to make the pass.
Egg ball, I like that pressure on the keeper, don't you?
So that's the first time today we've had the pressure on the keeper. And they're giving him a corner kick.
Yes, we are.
Good. So that's great work, a great effort, and the corner kick won.
David called for it. Did you see that?
I like it.
Hey, you know what, man? You got to do. You may just be a freshman.
Well, that's how they scored that early goal early on against, I think it was Edwardsville, right? St. Louis Edwardsville.
And there is Jabu Batinho.
Nobody's sitting out. Oh, there goes somebody drifting out to the left. Is that Gainford?
Little by little.
That's Joe
out.
Korb drifting out to the left, just outside of all the other players. And let's see what happens here.
They
as the
want to
ball's
set
crossed.
it back up, head it out nicely. Better defense, head it back in. Boy.
Did you see Egbo take an attempt at that turn? The ball, he started to make his turn before the ball came down. If it came down
had the
anywhere
right
around,
idea.
yeah.
Had the right idea.
Well, he's a forward. He's a goal-scoring machine, and you know he has been his whole life, and that's why he's up there now. Because those players, you don't just learn to be a scoring a force. You have to have a special gift for it, and it's something that he's done, I'm sure, ever since he was a young
We'll
player.
look at Manuel Cordero. Name on the back of the jersey. That's what you're playing for. Of course, from Porto, Portugal. Boy, you love to see the fans wrapped in blankets after this warm day. Gonna try to bend it. Oh!
No challenging that ball. He was clearly under it. Actually, may have waited a little too long, but he caught that ball just about head high. When you really want your keeper to catch it a little bit higher, but he was clearly in position. Nobody was getting that ball.
Boy, catch up with Reynolds here. You don't want him alone in the box. It's just a one-goal game.
Oh, what a nice touch.
Reynolds shredded him. He finds the back of the net.
That looks, they're complaining for a handball, and it very well may have been. The save was made.
Will they talk about it?
I don't think they can unless he goes to his he goes to the linesman, and he is going to the linesman on the earpiece. It actually looked like it was going to be a goal.
Good look at Alex Swahi.
And then the ball deflected off of Tor Saunders with the save, but then it looked like it deflected again.
Boy, just dangerously leaving him in there. And there you
I'm
go,
not sure if
just
it's
wide.
Moutinho's hand or his head.
Corner kick for Bowling Green.
Well, they're just going to say, hey, took a shot and missed.
That's very similar position as Diego Maradona with the hand of God goal. He was in that same position, so it could have hit the hand or the head.
Tay Robertson, I'll tell you, for that one not to find the back of the net. Surprise. And there it goes over that. Just up in the air right in the box. And Bowling Green going to stay on the attack. Good header out there.
So if you notice the difference in this
Moutinho.
play, there's not even Tor Saunders is not even thinking about leaving his line. He's playing on the line, letting his defenders handle it, which at this point, after what went on earlier in the match, it's a good decision on his part. I'm wondering if Chris Brennan has a long throw because he came all the way from the right side over to the left, and it looks like he's going to make a long throw attempt into the box.
Well, Otto, here's what I know. You talk about the hand of
He goes
God.
backwards.
We know angels in the outfield. There's definitely an angel to push that one away from the far post that
That's
time.
right.
I had it targeted to the back of the net. Wow. Another bullet?
Moutinho with a heady play, whether it was actually his head or his hand. But to keep that one out, it was a very nice job.
Well, it was good defense.
And both of the teams saved by one of their center backs today.
Well, I'll tell you, the Akron earlier on, he basically booted up all the way. It was crossing the goal line.
And there's Akon now up front in the box
He's
for
strong.
Bowling Green. The ball goes.
Dump off. Boy.
Oh, missed clearance.
That was Pugliese.
So we got some of the first sustained pressure by Bowling Green all match right now with only 5 minutes left exactly on the clock.
They've got to start sooner or later. This is later.
And that, again, hopefully get the handle on the ball. Zips, I don't know if they're better off to go back to their possession type of playing back or drive that ball long and try to keep it up over midfield.
Tor Saunders sets. Everybody is being marked on the Bowling Green offensive end of the field.
Nice
Heel
touch
tap.
with the
Wasn't it?
outside of the right foot. Yeah, flicking it on for Azana Kase.
He's another one with a lot of talent. Oh, good job that time. And who is back there to do it? That was just brilliant.
Well, that's Sky Harder. Oh, no, I'm sorry, Morgan Hackworth.
Hackworth has come in, yes.
Great play in
defense.
the back there.
Hackworth doing a great job. Bowling Green knows that
that one off the back. Moutinho went up.
Yeah, because Robertson was breaking to the net with it. Now you've got Akon going to try to strike it to the middle.
He shanked that one. It goes off the outside of his right foot, unfortunately for him. Fortunately for the Zips.
Waiting on there?
Dangerous position
Mr.
with a couple of players right in the box. And that dangerous stout player for...
We'll check it in. Our good buddy, Bart Luther Muafo.
from Cameroon, I
Low
believe.
saying it. Was that Joe Korb that trotted off? And there's Tor Saunders again.
Yes, it is Korb. I can just barely make out that 17 from across the field. Nick Hines with
Just poked
seemingly
away.
too much time there because he looked at the ball, and was like, nobody's around me. I'm going to bring it down.
Tried to bring it back and could not get it back.
There's a little hand-to-hand combat.
Oh, I like it, don't
on the
you?
left-hand side there, but grabbing the jersey.
Schultz and Brennan.
Chris Brennan, and the referee not calling it.
Beautiful defense that time. Well, what would Brennan be upset about there, Otto?
I don't think he's upset. I think that's just the way he's been playing, and now somebody else is playing it back to him. He's frustrated because of the lack of attempts he's had and how well the Akron's defense has played the entire game.
Keaton Reynolds kind of laying back.
And you know that
Saunders
there's 3 minutes left on the clock.
Mm-hmm.
He knows the timing as well. There's not many attacking opportunities left for them, so every time he doesn't able to get something productive out of the play, he's going to be a little bit more frustrated.
Unbelievable posting up that time by Kasey.
That ball should be flagged out.
And it was. But you know what, though? Unless you're sure, don't stop. And that's what Ego did that time. He did the
and
right
the other
thing.
thing that happens is, other than having to jog back, there's no penalty for it, and 5-6 seconds more tick off that clock.
There's Charlie Majewski going to give it back.
Mwambia coming up and driving that ball low. That's the one that's dangerous, the one that can actually be headed by someone.
Boy,
and Chris Brennan goes right through him.
Oh, boy. Having a talking to, isn't it? And everybody jumping in there. Tor Saunders comes out of there. Brennan wants a piece of somebody. Is it Kasey?
Oh, it's a red card, and off goes Brennan.
Yeah, he's going to have to go off on that one. Somebody else, Keaton Reynolds trying to pull his lads off of there.
The best thing
Cadero's
for
a
all of the
peacemaker
Zips
out
and all
there.
the rest of the players, the linesmen should be both.
I agree.
I don't know where they are, but,
Yeah, they're
I don't like
watching.
this that they're sitting on the sides, and they are both in there. No, I didn't see them.
Okay.
That pillar's in the way again for me, but they need to have the referee needs all the support of his assistant officials.
Good job, Moutinho. Oh,
look at that.
My.
He goes up for the ball with his head, but gets him with his left arm. That's a blatant foul, and right across the face of Moutinho, who has shut him down all game long.
And a red card, and we're not going to see actually their best chance of scoring a goal. Mr. Chris Brennan for the rest of the game. He is from Copley. He is one of their leaders. Just a sophomore. You're going to see it again. Boy.
So watch this left arm. Boom.
Boy, it goes right in. Oh, that left arm came out. There's no doubt about that. And Moutinho is down. Gets back up, and boy, do you see who the first person over to Mr. Brennan was? Mr. Kasey. And
well, your player's going to take care of your
Keaton
teammates
Reynolds
out
gets
there,
carded now, the captain. Maybe arguing a little too vehemently to protect his player.
Well, you know what? If we see that foul, I don't want to. We shouldn't. It looked like the left arm got up, and we're looking at it in real time. If that left arm didn't get up, and from our vantage point, it very well may not have. That's just a hard play.
There was
but it looked very much like Chris Brennan got his left arm up near the head of Moutinho.
Well, Chris Brennan headed to the locker room with his water bottle, and he'll finish up the 2:24 there. And Keaton Reynolds being sent off too.
Well, Keaton going off, but I believe Keaton going off was during they won't be playing 2 men short.
The gendarmes out of the field now too, just to make sure everything is legit. Other captains getting into the fray there for Bowling Green. Charlie Majewski is not a captain, neither is Peter Pugliese.
I'm looking for Moutinho. Is he getting medical attention? Do you see Joao?
I do not, and I don't even see him on the bench. Do you?
There were a player short somewhere, and
that's what
he's not. So he might be. That might be him over at the center stripe there.
Yeah,
getting some attention.
Manny Cordero was the one counting it down. Boy, some physical play. There's Joe. Looks fine now. Boy, he wants to get back in there, doesn't he?
And they're not going to
Joao
sub him.
Moutinho.
They're not going to sub him. They're just going to keep him out on the side until he gets prepared to come back in. He'll ask the linesman. He'll be back in soon after this ball's put in play. He's tying a shoe or something right now.
Otto as chippy as I've ever seen.
Well, these games are getting more and more important, but this is almost like a crosstown rivalry with
oh yeah,
the last time actually ending in a draw. So
Jared Embick counting on the pitch, making sure he's got the right amount.
5.
What are you counting here, bud?
And we're still a man short, and there comes Moutinho.
Now
Gets a
we're-
green
now
light
we're
from the
set.
linesman, and now we're even up. The last 2 minutes. But this game is not over. Remember, again, this is that time frame in which goals are scored both ways.
Especially if you can't keep it in bounds.
And with a
give
little
them
bit
a
of a
shot.
lull with that injury, everybody takes a break mentally. Another illegal throw, and not only with the foot up and a ton of spin on the ball.
I saw that totally. Oh my, good footwork that time. Saunders is going to give one up.
And that's exactly what we were talking about.
Boy, I know that Tor came out to cut the angle down.
Well,
But still,
unfortunately, it was a play where Moutinho should have kept his mark outside, but the ball got cut inside, and Moutinho was left out to dry, and then Saunders
I believe it was Charlie Majeski.
right here
It is.
beat inside. But the second, the help. So there you have your two
Boy,
freshman
nutmeg.
defenders that both got beat on the same play. They've been playing so well. Not sure what's going on here. The celebration, and everybody's waiting, so the clock is stopped. Okay.
Charlie, a midfielder, sophomore from Cincinnati. Summit Country Day. Look at that. Pass between the legs.
So as a keeper, but both hands down.
Brutal.
As a keeper, you're hoping your defender forces him down to that line. So at least the shot, they're going to have a much better chance at. When you let him cut inside and then put it through your legs to go even farther inside, not much that can be done by the keeper.
Well, Otto, we'll see what happens here. If not, everybody's going to get a little bit of extra for their money today, aren't
Well,
they?
I'm telling you, this game today, I don't mind watching extra time, nervously watching extra time, but look at this attack. Already the Zips with the ball under control right at the top of the 18. Bowling
So does
Green packing
Cesarini.
everybody in. Munch, we didn't mention it, but
Opposite.
they scored shorthanded just now.
Yeah.
Man down.
And think about that. You want to put the fear of the maker in you? That's what you do that when you're scoring shorthanded. Boy,
Headed out.
good job, Cordero. Joao getting pushed out, tries to launch it.
And so this is what happened the
ankle.
other day. And look at that touch.
Mm-hmm.
Moutinho,
Nate
the
Schultz.
other day, he made a mistake, comes right back down the field, scores a goal. He's right back up front now, pressuring. He knows that there's one on his account in
And
the back of their own goal.
Cordero centered it. Moutinho tried a header also.
Look at him jogging back.
Well, what's
You
gonna
know
say?
what's going on in his mind, Munch. I don't know the player, but I can almost guarantee you he's putting the weight of that last goal on himself. He's not blaming the keeper. He's not blaming Strachan, who had the ball go through his legs. He knows that he should have kept him out of bounds. He leaned a little bit and got beat to the inside, and he's going to do everything he can this last minute. Maybe this is the last attack before we head to overtime.
30 seconds. Moutinho going to kick it on top. They're going to start again on the top far side, the right side of the goal. Something Akron enjoys doing. To the middle. It's interesting, too, because Gainford hasn't been in for a bit.
Well, only a couple of these attackers can be on the field at the same time, right? And there's so many of them that you have to share the time between them. All right, so this is very dangerous with only 10 seconds, 9 seconds.
Now we're going to be okay.
They're going to stop the clock because of that's a free kick. And this will be the last play of the first half. Very dangerous. Cordero coming over to the ball. Moutinho. I'd love to see Moutinho out towards us a little bit and to the right so he can come in and look for the near post. He's so dangerous. Cordero obviously will bend it with his right foot to the far post.
Cordero on it. Moutinho backing off.
If I was Wimbia, I would put an extra man in this wall. And there he goes, near post, and look at that shot.
It was headed in.
I'm telling you, you could tell right away, and I'm so glad Moutinho lined up there because he's so dangerous.
That concludes the
That was brilliant.
Even though there would be a corner kick to follow up.
We're going to get a break in here, Otto. 1-1 overtime at First Energy Stadium, Cub Cadet Field. Don't go anywhere. Leading scorer, by the way, Mr. Brennan, sent to the locker room for Bowling Green, so we'll see what happens.
This is as exciting a game as we've seen here on these telecasts.
And there's Majeski's goal. Nutmeg through the wicket. 1-1 overtime. ESPN 3. And we're back, getting ready to start the first overtime period. And all you can say, we had a little bit of everything. And Otto, it seems like everything happened within the last few minutes of the second half of play. Getting ready, you're watching ESPN 3. Look at the ball, Gainford. giving right there, and bang! Gonna get it to go home in a big way was Nick Hines, and Mr. David Egbo pretty dang happy with that. We had everything in that last few minutes of the first half. We had ejections, we had yellow cards, we had physicality, and we had just a great goal by Bowling Green.
That was a great goal. The yellow card to Akron, and then the red card to Brennan. They're 2 scoring studs.
And who gets a goal then? Mr. Majeski, yeah.
And that ball was not only beating Moutinho at the edge of the box, but then a nutmeg through one defender, and then through the legs on the goalkeeper as well. So,
boy, playing croquet, he had a double jeopardy there. Nice pass off, gonna get it to go in front.
And there it is. It only takes a few seconds, and here comes the entire Zips bench. And who is that? Asana Kasey.
26 seconds. Asana Kasey gets it done in a big way, pointing to the number on his jersey. Boy, I gotta love that. Look at that, he goes right to the stands, right to the fans. And Kasey leaves no doubt whatsoever. Banging it home, finding the back of the net.
And that's why they call it sudden victory instead of sudden death here.
No, but who started it? Gainford, Schultz, Holdhusen, Kasey right there. And when Bia took a chance, which he has not taken all game long, coming out of the goal mouth.
I'm telling you, he's had a great game, but it's one mistake. That's the difference in this.
Unofficially, we have that at, 29 seconds? Oh, my. Look at Manuel Cordero and Mr. Asana Kasey. Do you love it, Otto? Does it get any better than that?
That's a wonderful escape from a match that they dominated.
That is
and then
it.
Gave up a little bit at the end there, and didn't give up, but
no,
gave
wait, the
up
two coaches are going at it. Unbelievable. I rarely have seen, actually, it was an assistant coach at Bowling Green that went after Coach Embick.
I'm not sure why, but I like to see the passion Coach Embick is showing. Some of the players waving both teams apart. But you know why it is? Because Chris Brennan came back onto the field here.
Oh, Brennan's not supposed to be out. He's supposed to be in the locker room for the rest of the game.
I believe that might be what happened.
And Embick says something that he's not supposed to be out here. You are sent to the Pines. You're sent to the Pines. Am I right, Otto?
You're not supposed to be anywhere near the game or the facility.
And you love it, Mr. Kasey, the 6'2 junior from Esmeris, Eritrea, from the International Preparatory School at Grover, gets a game-winning goal. And there is celebration galore. And, boy, all it took was 29 seconds for the Zips to erase what happened there at the end of the game. Coach Embick, and I've never seen an assistant, though, go after a head coach before.
Well, I'm not sure exactly what happened there. I'm sure there was some exchange of words.
Now, what office are you running for? Come on here, Otto.
I didn't really see what happened. I'm looking at the celebration. I'm looking at the replay on our screen. It's, they started the second half the same way they finished the first half with that great attack, and then they came out of the locker room again. So I'm going to say one more time, look up Renato Cesarini, look at his philosophy, because what happened, they caught Bowling Green off guard here, and in 20 seconds or 29 seconds into that second half, or first overtime period, they get beaten.
Well, there you have it. Akron 2, Bowling Green 1. 29 seconds of overtime. Boy, the Zips celebrating with the students, with the Rowdies. And there you have the final in overtime. Now remember, for Otto Orff, I'm Mark Lush Bishop saying so long from First Energy Stadium, Cub Cadet Field at the University of Akron. Well, the final score is 2-1 Zips in overtime. And remember, all games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live on the ESPN app, or to watch this entire game on replay as well as other games on our family of ESPN networks. Log on to watchespn.com or download the Watch ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN. Otto Gainford started that one too, man. You gotta love it.
It's unbelievable play by Sam Gainford today.
Zips win, Zips win.